Oh, we're live. And it was my fault. No, you're fine.
No. It's ruined.
Too far.
Too far?
Blew it.
People want to see you.
No, that looks
Yeah,
good.
they don't want to see
you
us.
should put the camera right here.
All
You should,
right.
It's not like we pay attention here
Glasses,
anyway,
Cameras.
I
I don't know.
right? Sorry, should I say it this way? Don't pay attention at all.
Yes.
I wasn't listening when I was listening to the podcast last week. So
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 973, the Flamigo Podcast. Mom Brain, will you tell us about Flamigo, please? Oh, I'm going to pass you the microphone instead of the phone.
Flamingo.
Hasta Fluego.
you just conjugated that Pokemon.
Flamigo. Hey, Flamigo!
Oh, I get it.
This
I get it.
Pokemon apparently ties the base of its neck into a knot so that energy stored in its belly does not escape from its beak. So it
Mhm.
doesn't throw up.
There couldn't be an easier way.
No,
A chip clip, perhaps.
that's what you do. That's what boys do when they don't want to pee their pants, right? You tie it in a knot.
If it's long enough.
Or a chip clip, I guess, as Nicky Hill said. They're just a little bit over 5 feet tall, 81 pounds, male and female, and the category is Synchronize. Abilities include Scrappy, where the Pokemon can hit ghost type Pokemon with normal and fighting type moves.
There you go.
It's also unaffected by Intimidate. And Tangled Feet, which boosts the Pokemon's evasiveness if it's confused. This is the end of the Pokemon section.
Thanks, Mom
so
Brain.
you can untie that knot.
First things first, I adjusted everybody's microphones, so speak clearly and whatever. We'll see how it goes this
Toast.
time.
Toast.
But we should be good. Mom Brain, thank you for the Pokemon. Okay, Josh is here. Josh, how you doing? All right, Josh, I guess.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. That's why I'm asking.
I'm a party animal. I'm the star of the show.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah.
Hello to my
Party
fans.
animal.
I
Good.
think he was just testing his microphone.
Good to see you, Josh. Nicky Hill is here. How are you doing, Nicky?
Where am I? What
You're
is
in
this
pod.
place?
I know, right? It's been a month.
Feels weird.
Yeah. Hi. I'm here. Thank you.
Deux is here. How are you doing?
Coo-oo?
Oh,
Ooh.
it's been a long time. It's been a long
yeah,
time.
just gotta shake off the flappers, my uku flappers.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And if you've seen an uku, you know what the flappers are.
Trust me, I've seen them. As I said, Mom Brain is here. How are you doing, Mom Brain?
I am here and I'm doing great.
And of course, the one, the only George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend? All over your
Ooh.
COVID too. You're back to perfect health.
Perfect health.
Lime a day keeps the COVID away.
In my case, it definitely did. It feels good to have all my friends back.
Oh,
It's
that's
been a long line.
that's very very nice of you to say,
Wait,
George.
are you talking about us or about your limes?
No comment.
You, of course, silly.
Oh,
thank
what
you.
My
a
limes
softie.
don't go anywhere without me.
We got big news here in the
Oh, boy,
Discord.
big news.
It is Rosemary the farmer's birthday.
Wow. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Happy birthday. Rosemary the farmer, while Josh is doing his thing.
How
Any-
dare you?
Any plans for today? Any big birthday plans?
I think that's the first time. I'm guilty of it myself, so I shouldn't even say anything. But I was going to say that I think that's the first time anyone's ever talked through a birthday song. Like it's nothing. Like it doesn't mean nothing.
Like it
Josh and I
doesn't
talked about it
mean
before. Josh and I talked about it before.
anything.
Oh, like it's Josh. Though Josh is the one you're insulting with that.
The old college days.
See, that's right. Josh gets it, just like the old college days. Josh, why are you so quiet, dude?
That's none of your business.
You're really quiet. What the hell's going on? Oh well. Speak up, Josh. One more time.
Shut up. I don't care.
That's better. That's better.
Happy birthday, Rosemary.
Happy birthday.
I do believe
birthday.
Freddie and Rosemary will be listening later.
Happy birthday. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess at this point, we hope your birthday was wonderful.
Hello, Gecko Kitsune and Fluffernutter and Ice Dilbert and Sneaker Hacks with an amazing moon pie gift with the Doge dog hanging out. Radical Defect, yes.
Well, because
We
I did
got
a
it,
little
yeah.
reorganizing.
And Freddie Fro and Malik Halo and Burn and Cheese and Tentavision and Laxter and Steve Irwin, Darunia and SD and I see that John Cena gift. And E17 Pet and Drake and whoever else, whoever else I didn't see. Blood Ocean, thanks for joining us today. Hi, 8-Bit Lego, good to see you. Yes, we got people in person now. I don't even know what to do with myself. It was just me, then it was me and my brain, then it was just me, and now it's all of us, right? That's a month. Yeah, it was a whole month. We survived. Are you feeling any COVID symptoms, Mom Brain?
No, but I did end up with the most horrific, weird sinus infection of my life after COVID. It felt like my nose was broken. I couldn't wear my glasses. I couldn't touch it. It hurt so badly. It was awful.
Hi,
Apparently,
Nintendo.
you have ethmoid sinuses that are here.
Oh,
And I didn't realize it was a sinus infection because, I thought
Hi, Ratzel.
it didn't feel like one. And sure enough, so tomorrow is my last dose of antibiotics. So everything's should be
My goodness.
cleared up.
Great job. Great job.
Awful.
yeah, that sounds awful.
Don't recommend it.
I had some weird thing.
Tell us
I mean,
more.
I'm still coughing, but
It was called a cigarette. You heard of this?
I eat the smoke?
They called it a spleef. Oh, well,
So
what?
I had a sore throat for like a day and a half, and then I woke up like feeling awful, and then I started feeling better, and then I was hacking up a bunch of stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe it's breaking up now. I coughed up like over like a couple pounds of gunk,
Gross.
and then the next day I
Those are
had
called
a
organs.
terrible orgasms. That's
Oh,
where it
I
goes.
had a
orgasms,
terrible
yes.
orgasm.
I coughed up a ton of orgasms.
That's where it goes. And my back was hurting horribly.
From all the coughing?
I think I'm hoping it was like a pulled muscle, like something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be a problem with my lung, and I don't know if that's how you feel it. And that took a few days to clear up.
Burn and Cheese says, I had the gunk cough for a full month of January. It was stupid. I never get a cough, but my orgasms were great. There
And
you
then,
go.
and then there was something else I was going to say. I don't know, but it's just been like I've been so like heavy in the chest.
Well, allergies
That, like,
are
even-
miserable
so,
right now.
You know how like when you're like really like you eat a lot or whatever, and you take like a couple bites, and you're like, you can't breathe because you ate so much. That's how I would feel just by eating like a small little something. It felt like I was full up to the gullet. I don't know. It's just my lungs couldn't. So yeah, it was a mix of like bad allergy stuff and horrendous lung things.
Yeah, I saw this big report about how bad allergies are right now, and it's not like in people's minds. There's a whole bunch of reasons why allergies are worse right now than they've been in a long time. So just one more thing for the pile. Blood Ocean says they love your shirt.
Yes, thank you. I think
Nicky Hill's
Tentavision
wearing a
mentioned
Teenage
it
Mutant
earlier.
Ninja Turtles
Thank you.
shirt. What is
Roosevelt's.
this?
I don't know if they're problematic in any way, the company, but the shirt is very comfortable.
Oh, don't you remember T27 Duck? I wrote myself the reminder the second you told me about it, and it's in my list of things to do. I promise I will do it. So there were things I want to talk about.
How are you, Rami?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. I'm still tired. Like I'm still really tired. I can't get past the tired part of it. I just
It's because you're up at all hours during the day texting me things about Switch
doing what I can.
2
Yeah, I
pre-orders.
sent it and I was like, I don't think he's going to be awake, but I figured I'd do it anyway.
Well, before you sent one this morning, I got secured.
Did you really?
Really?
Hey!
So thank
good
you.
for you.
Thank you for that 1 a.m.
Hell
message.
yeah.
Oh, that one is
Well, you sent that and I went
Yes.
and logged in.
Yes.
And who knows what's going to happen, you know?
Where'd you get it?
It's got to
GameStop?
be Walmart, right?
Walmart.
As I said to Do before you got here, we will get into Switch 2 pre-orders in general, but since we're talking about it now, all the stores are going through and eliminating their duplicate orders because you're not allowed to do that, and the bots and all that stuff. So they're getting stock replenishment. They rejigger it in the system and then they push them live, but they don't say they're doing that. That it just happens. But people like Wario64, the king of retail, has their connections and inside sources that gets them. They somehow they get that information. And as soon as they sent that out, I was like, I got to get it to Nicky Hill. I was like, I don't think he'll be awake, but maybe he'll wake up to go to the bathroom or something. Maybe
Man,
he'll
that's
randomly
great.
see
You
it.
got the bundle. You managed to get the bund.
I think so. Like, we'll see what happens.
Good
It's like
for you.
it's like with a lot of work things. Nothing's confirmed until it's completed.
Right.
Yeah, I said on
So-
Patreon, I won't believe that everything worked until I have the Switch 2 like in my hand.
But I need to. So Target, GameStop, like I have online accounts with them. Walmart, I don't. So I had to set that up.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's kind of annoying, I'm hoping I can change it, is that like all of them were. So you said you're going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now. All of them are like you have to have it shipped, and I'm like, I don't want this going through multiple hands at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's where problems come up, and all I need is them to just put a shipping label on the Switch 2 box and then put it into a truck somewhere. And it's like,
Hi, Tony.
clearly that thing's not going to get to where it's going. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they do. I hope they all
I
do.
completely understand. Don't worry.
But yeah, so I want to
totally
be
get it.
able to switch that. No pun intended. To
Oh, switch that
to in-store pickup, perhaps.
I
Did you figure out your address thing?
Not really.
Ooh.
I emailed the customer care because they have it shipping to an old address for some reason. So I emailed customer care over at GameStop, and it took them 2 days to even give me an automated reply. Usually those things are just automated
power to
immediately.
the players.
And it was like a big, long automated response about like, thanks for your interest in the Switch 2. If this happened, you didn't get a pre-order. If this happened, you didn't get a pre-order. Luckily, I think my pre-order is solid, but they didn't mention anything about an address change. So I emailed them again, and I was like, no, this is about an address change, not about the order. So we'll see. I have a feeling like, come on, it's a month out. They got to
Is-
be able
is
to
email
change
the
You're
that
going to be
address.
fine. You're going to be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's weird. It's a whole annoying thing because when I logged into GameStop and I got everything ready like you told me to, and I was like, good idea. I was like 30 minutes early, got like logged in,
Oh, you
made sure
didn't
all my
have it.
payment
Okay, yeah.
information was all set. And the last thing I ordered was January of last year. It was like the Final Fantasy Crisis Core for PlayStation 5, and that did get delivered
Yeah.
to my house where I live now.
Stuff's
So I was
going
just
crazy.
like, no big deal. Like, it's definitely coming to my house. And then after I ordered it, because I ordered it in a blink of an eye, just because I was scared. And when it happened, it said that it was shipping to this old address that I haven't been to in like 8 years.
Yeah.
So
Stuff's
we'll
wild.
see.
Stuff's,
So I'm moving.
stuff's so confusing because that was what happened with Target. Again, I'm pretty sure I've had things delivered to me from Target in the past. It's been a while, but like when I went and I've already had a credit card in there that was like updated. It wasn't my old credit card. But when I went to check out the night of the big night, it was like your address comes up as is not valid, and it's like, what are you talking? It's everything's there.
Hi,
And I
Backseat
go in to
Studios.
change it, and it would be like there's an error, and it's like, but everything's fine, and
Yeah, it's
all
not
that
you,
stuff.
it's
And then the
site.
credit card was like, you need to update your. I'm like, everything is there. Like it.
Somebody on Patreon said they like set everything up beforehand, which is what I did. They like double, triple checked everything, and they went to go place the order, and their bank was like, "Is this you?"
That just
we're not
happened to
gonna.
me.
Yeah, so
Well, it
You-
happened.
It's a
it
big-
happened, but not.
Yeah.
We could do that later.
That's how you know it's an expensive system.
And they said yes, and thankfully it didn't cause an issue. But they were like,
Mhm.
"We're freezing it until you say yes," and right away they were like, "Yes, it's this is
Right.
legitimate." So it got worked out. But yeah,
That's the other. And then so that's happened to me in the past with something else. You got to be really careful because sometimes the company, like it's this whole thing with like the company needs to clear it out or whatever, but like so you just don't want to get charged twice, or like you
Yeah.
don't want to do it again without the proper permission or whatever, and like then the company has the right to turn it down because now you just paid for it twice. In theory, like
Well, for us, you get like I get a text immediately, like the card gets declined.
Right.
Then I get a text that says like, did you just try to spend this money in this place? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. And then they're like, all right, in 2 minutes.
Right. It has
And it's
to
like, but that
clear-
2 minutes could make the difference between,
Yeah.
you know, whether I get something or not, or like,
Ice Dilbert says they got a fraud alert on their credit card on Walmart order too. Didn't see it until the next morning, but all seems good so far. Radical Defect says, I have 2 credit cards. The one that I use all the time said, is this fraud? And I had a panic attack because I thought I'd lose my spot in line while I scrambled to use the other. But the other apparently went through because I rarely use it and haven't established a buying pattern for it to recognize fraud. There you go. Yeah, that's funny.
Also, the other thing that got me was I never calculate tax. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get the
Cheese.
bundle. It's going to be $499. And I went and processed it, and it was $532. And I was like, no, you
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah. Tax will get you.
32. What is it? Because of your county or something? It was 33 for me. Give
Well,
me that dollar.
It
32
was
and change.
$532 and change.
Yeah.
Mine was
Yes,
Maybe you rounded
533
up.
and change.
You rounded up
We will-
for charity.
we will get into all the specifics on
Oh,
that.
but it also said driver tip. I didn't put that in there. I mean, you know,
They
I
got to
don't
drive
wanna
it to
be-
your house.
I don't want to be rude, but like, why can't they just get paid a living wage? And then I don't like, do I need to tip them?
Oh, we're not ready to have that bigger discussion as a country
Is
yet.
this candy?
I have some housekeeping. T27 Duck wants everybody to know that if you follow our current RSS feed for news, if you're still an RSS user, you will have to change because the old RSS is going bye-bye. It won't be functional anymore. So if you just want all of Go Nintendo's news, there's an article on the site that lets you know, but you can follow or you can put your RSS reader to https://gonintendo.com/feeds/all.xml. Again, there's a post on the site that will give you that information. If you just like the top stories, you can go, gonintendo.com/feeds/top-stories.xml. So for your RSS people out there, update your feeds now and don't miss out on all the news coming out because we're in a big time for news. What's
look
up?
at this rabbit. Ooh,
Oh, in the
it's a
chat. I'm not in the
nice
chat.
rabbit. It's a
Chat, is this real?
It's a really nice one.
Fluffernutter says Miyamoto is going to deliver your Switch 2 on his bike. That's what he's doing.
This is
So
a nice bunny.
No tip,
no tip.
but big praise. Thank you.
Bike all the way from Japan.
Oh,
man.
could I give him what was it? What did I get? A Metroid on Game Boy that he signed. Can I give that to him as a tip? This is going to be
I mean,
worth
you
a
can
lot
give
of money
anybody-
one day.
You can give anybody whatever you want as a tip, whether they're
You
going to
got a
like it or
signed
appreciate it.
Game Boy Metroid cartridge?
When we went to meet Miyamoto-san, is that right?
Sure.
At New York, Nintendo NY. Yeah, that's all I had. like a sealed. I bought it, but it was all that was like available for me to get that I could have him sign. So I got that.
Oh, you got it there and had him sign it. That's cool.
yeah,
I thought it was just like you had
other one. Yeah.
you had like a bunch of games and you were like, well, I'm not going to bring like a NES game all the way to New York, so I'll just take this little Game Boy
No,
game.
well,
Oh, that's
actually,
a good
I think I
point.
have a maybe like a gold Legend of Zelda, but I don't think it was. I think it was opened. But yeah, and one of them I signed myself, so maybe
What does it
maybe he won't
matter?
know.
I
Notice.
signed one and
Not-
gave it to him.
I mean, you're not going to sell it. What does it matter?
We, as I said a couple
I'm
times
gonna
now,
give it
we
away
will
as a
talk
tip.
about Switch 2 pre-orders in detail, but we got some other stuff first. Like, there's no masturbators this week. There were not any clickbait this week that I could find or anything worth sharing, but there is
Boring.
Patreon. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon? For
$1.
$1. What did we talk about on Patreon this week? Let me tell you. We first talked about Nintendo's official Switch 2 commercial for North America with Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
The return of Paul Rudd. And I can't explain how mad I was when this happened. Because the commercial, I got the notification on my phone through YouTube. Nintendo published that commercial exactly when WrestleMania started. The exact time. 7 o'clock on the dot. Bless you. Yes.
Oh, those are sneak- God bless you.
Where am I?
Incapacitator. Yes, it was. It was like they did it on purpose right when WrestleMania started. I was like, why are you putting out a commercial 7 o'clock on a Saturday? I can't even think of any time they've done anything.
Did
like
it
that.
air during WrestleMania?
No.
7 at night.
I don't know that commercial has aired on TV yet. I have not seen it. But they have a whole bunch of different commercials. They have like the Paul Rudd commercial, and then they have like a very straightforward, this is a Switch 2 commercial. I don't know what they're doing for on air. I would imagine Paul Rudd will air on TV. Yes. But
They've got one with a guy with a bow tie and suspenders, of course.
they brought him back after they
Really?
heard.
No, I just made that up.
A Dorcas Malorcas.
Yeah, the Dorcas Malorcas is
mhm.
back. Dark Gary's back. I'll save these for the spiders and flies segment.
Does Paul Rudd dye his hair?
Oh, he's
You think-
old.
He can do whatever the fart he wants.
I know, but do you think
If he does, he looks great. Because sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. I mean, I saw Clooney
Yeah.
Well, you
recently.
know what that
That's a
means.
dye job.
Looks so natural. No
I mean,
one
it
can
is.
tell.
Like,
That's right.
Well, Clooney's been gray for like the last 40 years.
Yeah,
so
that Clooney hair looks bad.
but it's also funny that like he looks 10 years older with
it's like
without gray hair.
it's like so God, I just blanked on him. It's somebody who has clearly dyed hair and they pretend like they don't have it, but it's another celebrity. But yeah, I saw him talking to Patty LuPone and I was like, oh my God,
Me too. Yeah.
this looks
And
horrendous.
she is a freaking national treasure.
Is it for a role? Like, why would he do that?
It has to be.
Maybe. I mean, he's doing something on stage. That's why he's talking to
yeah,
Patty
yeah,
LuPone.
yeah.
That's
so.
got to be what it's for.
But anyway, yes, Nintendo originally worked with Paul Rudd before the world knew who Paul Rudd was when he was in their commercial to introduce the Super Nintendo. That was Mr. Rudd's first acting gig, that like televised nationwide acting gig was that commercial.
Before he hit it big, he was known as Paul Rutt. He was in a rut. No.
You got the drum. You have the rim shot over there. Margaret.
That joke was a Paul Dud.
Oh, you got me.
So yes, now the world knows Paul Rudd very well. As far as I can see, no controversies that anybody has ever brought up about Paul Rudd. He seems like he's on the up and up. And now, as I can see that gif in the chat, Paul Rudd's looking at his old self, going, "Look at us,
Yeah.
right back with Nintendo. Look at us." So yes, he's part of their campaign. He's wearing the same outfit he was wearing in the Super Nintendo commercial back then.
That was so cool. I loved everything about the commercial. I kind of like as an old nerd who was like, I was there, I remember this. Like, I wanted it to be a real commercial rather than turn into him with his family and friends. But I still thought that was well done. I said this before as a half joke that the niece could have used a little work, but everyone else was really good
on her
in it.
acting, not her appearance.
Yes, of course. Yes, God, how terrible. I mean, I'm not being serious either way, but yeah. So I just thought it was a great commercial. It was a lot of fun, and it just, I don't know, it's just so fun. Like now we need, hopefully, when the new Zelda game eventually comes out,
That was a joke, man.
they have like
dance.
Japanese people dressed up like Zelda characters doing synchronized dancing.
Or they bring
that
back,
would be awesome.
fingers crossed, Robin Williams to do another commercial with. Oh wait. So with Paul Rudd, that's something I talked about on Patreon because I would have never expected them to do something like that. The commercial, as far as its direction, is very Nintendo. It's like, here's our new thing. It's family friendly and everybody can have fun together. It's very Nintendo. But the fact that they brought back Paul Rudd and recognized that, and like that's very un-Nintendo to me. Here, if you're listening live right now and you don't have a Switch 2 pre-order, Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle listing right now on Costco. People, go to Costco.
Come to Costco.
If you go to Wario
Bam!
64's link
Bam!
right
Is it
now,
bam?
Boom.
Boom,
Five
boom.
big booms. Dude
Boom.
Michaels gives it 5 big booms.
bam, it's bam.
Shut up! Like who?
I love it. I love it.
5 big booms.
Go to Wario 64 on any social media, and he'll have the link. Includes a Switch Online expansion pack, 12-month membership as well. Costco doesn't tell you prices online, as is always the case, but it should be, what everybody else is. So, look at that.
Man, I was waiting for Costco, and
Bundles include Switch 2 Online, Mario Kart World download, 12-month Switch Online.
there it is.
I'm gonna
There it is. There she is.
I'm
Here
gonna
she
drop
comes.
this in a family chat just in case anybody's still looking.
Limit
In
one
case
per membership
anyone
every
is
7 days.
Still looking.
Wow.
Go,
Wow.
go, go.
I don't think my membership's still good. I think it's over, Johnny.
Okay. Done. So yeah, everybody was waiting on Costco. They were like, Costco sells Nintendo stuff, but they're not saying their plans on what's going on here. We figured it would show up at some point, but there you go. Right now, live during the show. Sam's Club did it. Again,
Sam's Club. Yeah, my girlfriend mentioned Sam's Club. She also asked me if
they sold out.
if I should check PC Richard and Son, and they did not have any.
I'm sure they will have one eventually.
Yeah.
But
One.
they still have like their GameCube signs up. When we were in there like a year ago, they had their GameCube signs
If you
up.
buy
That's
a
That's where we bought
Switch,
the
a
Apple TV.
Nintendo Switch 2, you get a
Free GameCube.
free washer dryer set.
That's right.
If they
That's right.
gave you a free GameCube when you bought a Switch 2.
This has been
No, a
sitting
free
here.
GameCube controller.
This has been sitting here for don't
A
say that because
Wavebird.
that's coming out for the Switch too.
Oh, that's true.
That's really funny.
They'll be like, this has been sitting here for over 20 years. So you just want to take this?
So sorry, it's purple. Is that okay?
Honestly,
that's
I
why it's
would.
been sitting there for 20 years. Nobody wants it.
Honestly, I would go for a GameCube, like a free GameCube.
GameCube. I like GameCube.
Gamaku.
So yeah, cool to see Nintendo do that, and I hope we get more spots with Paul Rudd. So if you'll remember, one of the celebrity promoters, endorsers for the original Switch was
Sorry, say it again.
the original Switch celebrity endorsement from.
Was
their-
that Brie Larson?
Robin
no,
Williams.
she was later. No, he was dead. Maybe not dead, but no, that was 3DS and Wii,
Who was it?
or DS and Wii. I'm sorry. We all know him extremely well, not in real life.
Rick Steves.
That would be
we
awesome.
see him
Travel
way more
to
than everybody else
faraway
does.
lands.
John Cena.
John Cena is correct.
Oh.
John
Well, we
Cena
couldn't
was
see
that
him, so
guy. He's in a new Neutrogena series of commercials, and I'm like,
Nutricina.
exactly, Mom Brain.
Brilliant.
That's exactly it. You said it
Yeah.
before I could get it out. I was going to say the commercials are great. They're all about how you can't see him, and everybody there thinks he doesn't show up to do the commercial, so they do it on their own, and he's there doing it with them. It's funny, but I said to my sister, "How do you do a Neutrogena commercial and not say Nutricina? It's right there. I don't
Yeah.
understand how you don't reference
I mean,
that
we've
at
had
all."
that- we've had that a few times recently,
Unbelievable.
right? What was like the owl thing that
Don't even
drives
bring it
you-
up.
It
The
was
goddamn
just
commercial
on.
just came on again, and Mom Brain's like, "Oh, look, Izol raw meat," and I was like, "Yeah,
Izol takes Izol. Is their original,
yes."
and Raw Meat's suggestion was
Give allergies the boot. Izol is a hoot. It's perfect, people. It's perfect.
I mean,
Be wise, all takes
speaking
Izol.
of,
It doesn't say what Izol does.
speaking of, a little plug for generic store brand Flonase. It was recommended when I had COVID to do some Flonase in the nose. But we all know Afrin is what I really needed to sleep at night. So I would do a pump of Afrin to help me sleep. But I did the Flonase as well, just in case. And then when I got the sinus infection, I just kept up with it. And I've been continuing to do it. And I think that's why my allergies aren't killing me, is because I started the Flonase before the allergies really got bad. So if you're struggling and you can take Flonase without any other, issues, I highly recommend it. It's just a little toot toot up the nose once a day. Done. While I sit down for my first pee in the morning, I have the nasal spray in the shelf above the toilet so I don't forget.
Multitasking?
Yeah, it's a little up the nose, a little out the tutor, and
You never-
well, the
yeah.
pooter. It's great.
I won't even make a joke. We can move on.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Sometimes I mix them up and I get
Well,
Flonase.
That was the joke.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
going to be the joke,
Yeah.
as obvious. as
squirt in
that
the
is.
top, squirt out the bottom.
Yeah.
I also talked about midnight launches in general on Patreon because I have not been to a hold on, former person from the site. I randomly tried a Walmart pre-order link last night for Switch 2 and I got one. Thanks, Wario64. Yeah, this is Destin Lagari of IGN fame. And before that, GoNintendo fame. He wrote for GoNintendo for a couple of years and then said he got an offer from IGN. I was like, well, get the hell out of here. Yeah, why you want to stay here? Now, Destin is on his own. He has left IGN and he's doing his own thing. You can follow him at patreon.com/SaveStatePlus. A traditional save, man.
Oh, I like it.
But yes, as I said, Wario64, he's the king of that stuff. You follow him, and if you like game deals in general, follow him. But for pre-orders on systems, the guy is unbelievable. I don't know how he gets what he gets, but he is on top of it.
I wonder what type of insects he uses, because he gets like some of the greatest information, and I just, my spiders and flies, they get good stuff, but they just can't keep up with what he comes out with.
I don't know. He won't give up his secrets. Suda51 has tried to get Wario 64's secrets. He has met the person in person, but he still says, I don't believe he's a real person. So
Wow.
Suda51 is trying to figure out what the hell's going on with Wario 64.
I think it's funny that Suda51 can meet someone and not think they're real, because
Exactly.
I have a feeling that Suda51's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Unreal,
Tentavision
recognize Unreal.
Tentavision says my gut tells me he uses Weevils.
Oh, Weevils would probably do a
Oh,
good
and then
job.
there's a picture of Weevil Intentions. Weevils creep me out, man. I love
can
the
see
name.
why. God.
I
look at
see.
Raw
Mom
meat.
Brain, I got to tell you this again. When I was doing a show alone, I was so in the Discord paying attention, and it was so great. If you could just a little. I know. Yeah. Oh. Mom Brain's answer is no. Is what I'm telling you guys.
I'm in there. I'm
We're
pointing.
talking
Hi,
about
Ronnie.
the
I thought you were
Discord.
pointing to this.
No, I'm pointing to the.
No, I know.
Weevils.
I know you're talking about the Discord now, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Just
Good
pay
jeez
hi, afternoons.
Louise. Hello, afternoons. Thank
Good to see ya.
God somebody here with a little
You
mom
know,
brain.
The solo shows were a lot less combative. I
Well-
remember that.
Have no combat.
Hi, Pixelrific. Good to see you.
Do you want to tell everybody if we're talking about bugs? About how you almost lost your life last night and we almost had a breach?
I went to go play Fortnite last night, and I picked up the controller, and a giant bug was under the controller. I dropped the controller on the ground.
and
It
I
scared
heard
the
him
crap out of
carrying
me.
on. I was up on the couch and he was like, wow. And
What kind of a bug, do you know?
yeah.
Now I know. So it crawled under the TV, and I'm not, whatever. It's under the TV. And I was like, I got Fortnite to play. So I played Fortnite, and I went to go upstairs afterwards. And on the second on the stair right at the top was a big cave cricket, like
Ugh,
bigger than a quarter, like a
gross.
silver
It was,
dollar.
like, working its way up the stairs.
like jet black.
Yes,
Ugh.
yes.
And you
And
know,
I was
they're
like,
like crunchy too.
and I was like, oh,
Gross,
I didn't
yeah.
have any shoes on, so I couldn't stomp it. I feel bad about killing it, but I didn't want it jumping around.
And Piper.
So I was barefoot, and I had nothing like to hit it with, and there's nothing right
balls,
around me to
used his
hit it
balls.
with.
Well, bam.
So I was like, I got like 3 seconds to run downstairs and get something and run back up. And there was a bottle of like, what's that bottle down there?
Hand sanitizer?
No, it's purple
Baby
cap on
oil?
it. It's
Oh, like carpet cleaner.
Wank.
there you
cream.
go, wank cream. So I grabbed the wank cream and I ran back up, and it was gone. I was like, son of a bitch.
course it was.
And I looked, and it was hiding in the corner in the dark. And I was like, oh, I see you. So I
knew.
went and got it, and I felt bad,
Ugh.
but it's moved on. It shuffled off this mortal coil.
I feel bad now too.
I don't
never-
like doing
I
it, and I
never
try to
used to-
avoid doing it. Like I don't do it with stink bugs, and I don't do it with ladybugs. I don't do it with ants. Like,
I do,
but
with
like a
ants.
cave cricket that's gonna like jump around and jump at me, and
You know, what's the funniest thing about the whole situation is before he went downstairs to battle, we were sitting in the living room and Piper was like tracking something. Like she was like real interested, and it was like on the floor. Now, like a stink bug she'll look at, but she's like, ugh, I don't go near those. And she generally doesn't, she's not really like a huntress. Except for when it's thing on a string, but she was like tracking something. So I said to him, like, when you get up to go downstairs, take a look. There was nothing. There was nothing. Now
Nothing
look,
there.
she's been right about the flying squirrels and the mouse. So there's
the electric eel.
potential that we didn't see it, but I think she might have just been a little deranged. It was
Yeah.
late. She was tired.
Pixelrific, you're right. He says all you need is a cup and a piece of paper and do a catch and release. I would have loved to have done that. I was afraid that it was going to get away from me. And like I said, by the time I picked up something to get it with and came back, it had moved. Plus, it's a cave cricket, so like they jump like crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things for me where it's like, I know I feel bad killing it, but I feel even worse if I touched it with my skin somehow.
Yes.
And
yes.
like put it outside.
And that's what I
So-
did when I picked up the controller. I picked it up with the controller. It's like, oh God, that's horrible. But anyway, rest in peace, Cave Cricket. I hope you led a good life. Midnight launches I talked about because I haven't done a midnight launch since, well, the 3DS with you.
I don't remember where that was.
New York City.
Was it?
Yeah. And I remember being there and I was like, there's not a lot of people here. And I was disappointed, and then we know why, because people didn't want to buy the system at first, but then they did when they.
A Nintendo NY
I don't think it
Huh?
was. I think it was at a Best Buy.
in
It
the
was something
city.
weird. Yeah, it was definitely not Nintendo NY. I'm pretty sure it was a random Best Buy.
I, speaking of being in the city, went to a fantastic concert last week.
Sure.
Yeah, at Brooklyn Steel. Excellent venue if anyone's ever, standing room only, but just like a real nice, maybe it was just the concert crowd was good, but it was an excellent venue. I highly recommend it.
Anyway, yeah.
Very cool.
Midnight launches, like I said, haven't been to one of the 3DS since the 3DS, but I used to do them all the time because that's just what there was. Like for nerds, you would go to a midnight launch at GameStop more often than not. I did it for the GameCube, the Wii. We were in New York City. I did it for Xboxes and PlayStations and the PS Vita, and like used to be what you would do. And I'm pretty sure the last one I did was the PS Vita, or I don't remember if I don't remember when 3DS and Vita came out, but one of those was the last one, and then it just hasn't been a thing. So I was getting excited because at this time my plan was to pre-order through Best Buy, and our Best Buy is doing a midnight launch. So I was like, that would actually be fun to do. So I was having people bring up their old memories about midnight launches they've been to.
Sorry, Fluffernutter mentioned a couple minutes ago, maybe, that Costco is not doing pre-orders, and I've just been looking at the Costco thing, trying to get through.
It's the day of.
Their the SKU or whatever is up, but there's not an option.
So
to
they
actually-
will have it, and Wario says it was on launch day. So just go to Costco. I mean, what better launch day could you have? Go to Costco, get a Switch 2, go to the food court. I would
God,
argue.
imagine
so
if they
for
let
me,
you sit
though-
in the food court to wait.
I would imagine that's got to be 6 big booms, and I know 6 big booms doesn't exist, but you have to add a boom.
We
for that
gotta
kind
get
of situation.
the boom on the soundboard,
Okay.
so I could do like 2 big booms or 1 big, or maybe we could have Josh do the booms, or
Boom.
maybe even
No, if we're
George
gonna
could
do
do
a
the
boom, I want the official boom. And come
Oh.
on, the Costco guys are Jersey people. Maybe we could get them on the podcast. That's the dream.
All right.
Give me Big Justice. Give me AJ. Big Justice is not
the
dead.
Rizzler.
Do not believe the rumors.
Scarlett.
He's
She was
not
like,
dead.
I heard he was dead.
I heard Big Justice. She said AJ. I heard AJ's dead. I was like, he's not dead.
Her mother was like, please don't pay attention to fake things on the
Yeah.
internet. We were like,
Out of
well,
all the things, yeah.
Yep.
Back in the
yes.
day, it used to be you get a record and be like, "Oh, play it backwards. Is Paul McCartney dead? I think he is." Now it's like, "Oh, the Costco guys are dead." Boom.
or Marilyn
boom.
Manson had a rib removed.
I give
you know.
AJ's death 1 small boom. So talked about midnight launches. I also talked about in-game cosmetics and what is the most you've ever paid for an in-game cosmetic, because you know why I was thinking about this. I was like, I want that Ninja Turtle van in Fortnite, but then I saw that it was $25. There's no way I'm spending $25.
I don't blame you at all, but I have to admit I was very disappointed because you texted us and you were like, "I'm splurging on it because we need this. We play every night. We earned it, boys." And then like you logged in and you were just like, "It's $25. I can't do that." And like obviously you can't, but like, God, I mean,
if it was $20, I would have been like, that sucks, and I would have got it. But 25 is ridiculous.
And it's not like you can just, because you probably have some V-Bucks, but it's not like you can just be like, "Oh, just $5 worth of V-Bucks." You know, like you have to put in at least $9.
And that's the thing. We're right around the corner from the next season, so I would put the V-Bucks towards the next battle pass. And then I'll make my money back, and then I'll consider.
Either way, you'd have to pay some money. So I don't know. Like the thing is awesome, and I don't know if you even took a closer look at the paint jobs, but the one with the graffiti on it is like the best one.
That's the one I was looking at. That's the one where it hurt the most when I decided I wasn't going to spend the money, because I was like, oh, but that one's so cool.
Yeah,
but 25.
It's a lot. It's
25.
a lot.
There's skins that are 1,800, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And that's for like a character skin. You're gonna run around it. I don't know, like 1,800. It'd have to be something I really, really, really like. But I think that's high. Like 1,500 for a character is still high, but I'll be like, all right, if I really like it. But yeah, 25 for a car. But then I'm like, but everybody gets to go in it.
I mean, and we play like 5
play
times
all
a
the
week,
time.
so it's kind of like, I don't know.
Look at his cat.
Mom Brain, you're derailing the show so much.
I'm in the
You
Discord.
want her in the Discord,
It's Pippin.
and she loves cats.
Look at Pippin.
Look at that.
The
Are
cat's
you
really
kidding
cute.
me?
How cute
This
is
first
Pippin?
picture with the
Right?
tongue hanging out is
We have
unbelievable.
one of Piper kind of like that.
That's crazy.
Look at that cat.
Ice Silver says that turtle van does look pretty cool though. It
So wait.
does. It does.
What happened? So, like, what happens in the future? Is that turtle van always going to be available to you, or like, is
Once
there?
you buy it, you got it forever.
I know, but it's a vehicle.
What's your point?
So, how does that work in a game that's like open to everybody?
What do you mean? You get in and it
There's vehicles all
changes-
over the map.
Yeah,
There's vehicles all over the map, and if you get in, it'll automatically change to your
Exactly.
that's how it works.
And it
that's
stays
So
that
we
way.
have driven a turtle van because we stole it from
We
somebody
would
else.
steal people's turtle vans.
Well, the night it came out, we had that one game where there were like 3 different turtle vans driving around in a small vicinity.
Girl
So-
power.
Hi, Roth. Good to see.
They don't do anything though. It doesn't give you any like.
No,
Can
you
anybody,
can't. There's
like,
nothing in
sit in,
Fortnite
like,
you
the
can.
seat.
No.
Then they have it where it, like scoots out to the side.
There's nothing in Fortnite that you could buy that gives you a competitive advantage in any way, shape, or form. It's all cosmetic, so they take that very seriously, which I really appreciate, and that's the way it should be.
How many beans are there? Holy cow!
That is such a great picture
On
of
Piper?
Piper.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I sent that to Ramit this morning,
It's a
and
great
I
one.
was entitled Bean Pile.
It's a great
Yeah.
one. So yeah, I asked people how much they've spent on in-game cosmetics. I wish people good luck on Switch 2 pre-orders the night before they went live because we were all very nervous and we were all commiserating and sharing our agita about the situation that was coming up. I also wrote about the next day standing in line to get a pre-order because many people took that route or they stood outside of GameStop to get pre-orders. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then finally, I talked about Switch 2 launch features for GoNintendo. So I was reminded by someone. Hi, Solomon Sterling. I was reminded by someone, I forget who it was, about how when the Switch was coming out, I had a week of features that were written by different people. I think it was written. Was it a video? I don't remember. But it was like, Jeff Keighley and Rogers Base and a whole bunch of people. And they were talking about how much they like that. And I was like, oh, should I do something for Switch 2? Probably. But what should I do? So I put the comment out, or I put the question out to Patreon people. And that was last night. So I don't know what their suggestions are yet. But I will go in and read and reply to everybody tonight. But if you have any, feel free to let me know. That's what I said. There's not, we got a month, basically, a little over a month until Switch 2 launches. So that's enough time for me to turn around and make something happen. Just need to figure out what we're going to do. So that's on Patreon. All right. We're going right into the discussion of Switch 2 pre-orders. Hopefully, if you're listening or you're here in the Discord and you attend there, thank you, Roth. Radical Defect, beautiful cat. If you were aiming to get a Switch 2 pre-order, I hope you got one. Canada and the United States had pre-orders go live on Thursday at midnight. After a roughly 2-week setback because of the tariff situation, but eventually Nintendo was like
Midnight Eastern time.
New Jersey time midnight.
Are we Eastern Daylight time right now?
I don't know. I just put ET every time because I never remember which one we're in. Eastern time.
We yeah.
We're daylight time now.
So
Oh, is it now EDT?
well, there's
They're standard and daylight.
yeah. So I just put ET. Because that
Yeah.
works for
Yeah. I
both.
don't pay.
So hopefully if you're trying to get a pre-order, you got one. As I said, United States and Canada, Mexico, Panama, they we all had to wait because they were thank you. That's what I was going for.
Nice.
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
We had to wait and the tariff situation, but Nintendo was like, we're keeping the price the same. Accessories will go up a little bit, but price of the system is the same and games are the same. So pre-orders went live. 8-Bit Lego put a poll in the Discord you can participate in right now. 59 minutes left. Did you get a Switch 2? I'll click my answer and click vote.
Can we change the title of that? The question?
What's the question?
Because nobody has a Switch 2.
Oh, come on. You're one
Bad
of these
poll.
people. So Nicky Hill already shared his story. Is there any more to the story you would like to share?
No, I'm thankful for you, and you were more diligent in sending information than I was in securing, but I finally got it secured because of your
Persistence.
persistence.
My pleasure.
Yeah, the other day I was at a museum. I was indoors. I had terrible signal,
Thank you,
and-
museum. Am I right?
and my
Thank you.
I ran my battery down for an hour and a half trying to refresh pages and stuff, and that's why I was just like, I'm done. Like, this is a young man's game, and I'm an old man.
As
Like,
I was doing stuff, tracking pre-orders and stuff on my phone was getting like really hot because I was
Yeah.
going like crazy
yeah.
doing stuff for a while. So yeah, it was going nuts.
even the night before when Best Buy didn't even start like launch, like it took like a half hour for Best Buy to even
so
open
we'll
up.
talk
It was
about
just
all
like,
of that. Yeah. Do is there anything else about your pre-order story you'd like to share? Or?
Just I was about to give up the second day because the first night was very stressful and I didn't get one, and I kind of like was feeling like you. I was like, I'm old, I'm over it, I don't even need it, like crap like that.
well, I was
just because I was upset.
I had decided I wasn't going to do it because I hardly play the Switch currently, and it's just a lot of money that I do not like. I don't have a job right now. I'm trying to get a job.
Part of me was
And-
like, well, okay, you didn't get one, big deal. You'll eventually get one, and that'll be fine. And then I was thinking, oh God, what if it's like months and months, and then it's more expensive, or who knows what's
There's
happening?
a real chance of it being months and months and being more
Yeah.
expensive
So
for
like,
real.
I
Yeah.
started getting like kind of nervous then. So then the next morning at 11, I hopped on to do the GameStop stuff, and I probably spent 40 minutes, like probably till like 11:40, 11:45, like trying to get one, and it wasn't happening. And I remember texting you separately and just being like, it's not happening. And literally like the second I said that, you were like, just keep doing it, like
Yeah.
keep going. And like the second I had said it's not happening, I managed to get one. And then I was like, don't give up, Nicky Hill, you got to do it. And I didn't realize you were in a museum. So that was frustrating because I was thinking like, oh, now everyone who tries right now can get one. And I was lucky enough to grab one. So it was stressful up until that point. But then like once it was secured, then it was like, all right, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah.
I'll be happy that I have the thing. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. And the Switch is my favorite thing ever. So I can only imagine Switch 2 is gonna do it for me.
Did you get the insurance on it?
I didn't get the insurance. I did put a Pro controller in my cart. And like, I think I would have, if I had trouble ordering it, I think I would have tried to order one, but like it went in the cart and it was like going to be no problem. And I was like, I don't need to spend $85 right now.
I think you can still get a Pro controller without much issue right now, depending
I think
on
I'm
where
going
you
to
go.
have to do it because I'm going to say this, but don't hold me to it. If this works out with the Switch 2, I might get into Fortnite with you guys a little bit. Just because it has the chat and I can actually talk to you guys, like, and the controller has a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Like it's included.
You got the microphone on the Switch too.
Like I don't have to be talking, boot up my old Xbox 360 just to be able to talk. Like I don't need that business. So maybe. But I said
take a maybe.
Don't hold me to it. Just hold me.
I'll take a maybe.
wanna
I'll
hold
take a
you.
maybe. So all right, then we'll talk about my pre-order situation. So as Deux knows, because we talked about it a lot, and our friend I know, right?
Oh, what happened here? Yeah.
Our friend Adam was also getting a pre-order, and he heard about it a lot. I was very nervous about it just because I've been through a pre-order situation or two. My PS5 situation didn't go all that well, but it wasn't horrendous. But I was worried. So that day came, and I made sure everything was in order. I went in to Best Buy and made sure everything was set. All my logins were good to go. Everything processed normal. Like I was like, everything's logged in. Everything's set to what it's supposed to be. All the details are there. Totally good. I didn't want to, as I said on the podcast. Hi, Bachi. Bachi just got one. Good for you. Hello, Deux. As I said on past episode of the show, Mom Brain and I have made the decision to not support Target or Walmart because we don't like the practices that they're participating in. If you went with them, that's completely fine. This is a personal decision of ours. By the way, Target, 12th straight week of foot traffic being down and sales being down. So I was like, I'm putting all my eggs in Best Buy's basket. And I was like, if Best Buy doesn't work out, I can go with GameStop the next day. So I was like, team Best Buy, that's what I'm doing. So Midnight 01 hits. I got Wario 64 open. I got tabs open. I'm ready. Walmart goes live instantly. Target goes live instantly. Best Buy was like, what's going on? What, does somebody want something? 12:10, nothing. 12:20, nothing. I'm like, what is going on, Best Buy? I'm seeing Wario be like, this over here is open. This over here is open. And he's like, Best Buy, still nothing happened. And I'm like, the horse I bet on hasn't even left the gate yet. Everybody else is out running. I'm like,
Gotta
this
put
is
it
a
down.
nightmare situation. Target or Best
Ugh.
Buy never explained what happened at all. Best Buy never explained why pre-orders went live late, but it wasn't until like 12:30 that Best Buy started to come to
It
life.
was like coming soon.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it saying coming soon because there's no more available?
You were up.
Or
You
like,
were up that late on a work
Well,
night.
it
I
wasn't.
s-
I'm on spring break.
Yeah.
Oh, what a blessing!
Yes.
What a blessing.
And I said to her, I'll let you know what's going to go on. I might have to go out to the store or something. So
At midnight.
at midnight. So 12:30, finally they start to come to life. I have 3 tabs open on my desktop. So I'm using the second monitor and the main monitor to watch all of them. And I have the app open on my phone. So I have 4 of them going at the same time. And they're all in the virtual queue saying like, hold on. Little did I know, Mom Brain was also doing them on her laptop and her phone. So she came into my office. We had 8 of them going. And one on my computer refreshed, and I was like, here we go. And it just refreshed to nothing. And I was like, what the hell? So I closed that one. Another one refreshed to an empty cart. And I was like, what am I waiting in line for? What's going on? And they all just started dropping like
Oh,
flies.
no.
And I was like, what's happening? And I had one left on my computer. The app did nothing. Like I just sat in the line forever and nothing ever happened with it. It just didn't do anything. So I was down to one, but Mom Brains were still open. And then eventually the one that I had clicked over and it was like in my cart and ready for pre-order.
And he's like, okay. And he's like reciting his like credit card number out loud and like you
Well,
know, you don't want
no,
to mess up.
It was like, we still need to verify it's you. Send a text to your phone. And I said yes. And I'm looking at the number on my phone on my desktop and I'm like 60428. And I like making sure I'm doing it right. It went through, it processed, and I got it. And I was like, oh, thank God. So it took
But they
like
didn't-
50 minutes altogether to get the one from Best Buy.
You were logged in before.
Yeah.
I think I was logged in before midnight, and then when I went to the page to like get right or like right before midnight, like I was logged in earlier in the day, and I clicked like keep me logged in,
Yeah.
and then I went to the page and it logged me out, and I was like, what? This is a setup.
Yeah.
you know?
This stuff went so weird.
And that whole thing.
Hi,
that-
Kalas. Good to see you.
there Best Buy even had something somewhere where it was just like, with our new system, it's gonna go so smooth because like everyone can pre-order, like you can get it, or you'll be in a virtual line.
Yeah.
And I know Deux as well and myself, we were in that virtual line for like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah. You're not alone. Yeah, those virtual lines. I mean, Best Buy was right about that. The virtual line worked great. And then once you
didn't,
got
right?
out of it, it fell apart. Yeah,
Yeah.
the sitting in the line worked perfectly, but
Well,
the
because
line didn't do what it was supposed
It's
to
like
do.
what you said happens on a loading screen. Like
Yeah.
nothing is happening.
Nothing's
behind
going. You
the
got a
scenes.
spinny
It's just-
thing, and
yeah.
it's like, yeah. you
And
got-
I had my phone, and out of habit, I clicked the close button. And then I was like, oh no. And I swiped up and this thing was still spinning. And I was like, I don't want to back out right
Yeah.
now.
But I don't know if
But I
it's,
don't know if I'm still in
yeah,
line.
it was so confusing.
You know?
So I got my pre-order. Mom Brain still had hers open. I was like, I don't trust any of this. I was like, let's keep it going and we'll see what happens. So Mom Brain stayed up with me until like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, just give up. I'm up anyway. It's fine. I can manage.
Well, so
but by
the
that
pre-order
point,
on my phone, it just bounced me.
yeah,
Like it just all of a sudden it was like, and it was the one I had the longest.
Right.
And
You
it
were
just,
in.
I was in the line.
Oh,
it was like,
right.
you're in line,
Oh.
hang on. And then just out of nowhere, it was just like, oh, this never happened.
Right.
So then I was like, well, I'll leave my laptop for you.
So
like,
she had one left on her laptop that I watched. I set it up next to my computer, and it actually went through. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, yeah, I'll secure another pre-order. So I did it, and I had to like run up and get Mom Brain's phone. because it needed something. I forget where she was like, everything's logged in. Mom Brain wasn't even logged in on Best Buy, by the way. I don't know
Well, I
if you
told
thought
you
you
could
were
use
or
my
not.
Gmail. Well, I think I was logged in on my phone.
Yeah,
and then
but
didn't
it was
want to log
like
in elsewhere and
because
have
it was
be a
like you're
problem.
not logged in, you got to log in. So I was doing all that, and then it sent a code to her phone, and I had to go get her phone. So it was like, I'm gonna say maybe 10 minutes later, she was dead to the world, and I had to turn on the light in the bedroom. So I turned it on, and
Had
she
to
was.
for what?
So
For
I
what? The overhead light, the big light. Could have had the hall light on in the hallway and open the door. Could big light, and I get a migraine if I like sniff the wrong way. So I'm like awakened out of this dead sleep to this like.
I wish I recorded it because it was like she was hit with a flashbang. She was like, "Oh!"
I like covered my eyes and I was like, "Make it stop!"
The aliens are abducting
Yeah.
me.
Awful.
So
Awful.
I went in and I got her phone and did that and secured it, and it went through, and I was like, thank God, everything worked. So then, it was pretty much over for me. I had the 2 pre-orders, and that was that. And I started doing some work and whatever, and then I'm going through social media, and I'm seeing people saying like, I had an order at Target and they canceled it 5 minutes later, and I had an order at Walmart and they canceled it. It said it was in the cart, and then I checked out and it was canceled. I was like, oh, that sucks. So I'm putting together a post on that, and I was like, oh, let me check my order. So I checked on my phone and it was fine, and I checked on her laptop and it was canceled. And I was like, son of a bitch. They refunded her money and everything.
Did you sorry if you already said this, did you use different credit cards and everything else?
Yeah.
Yes, because I actually have a Best Buy credit card from years ago that
Oh,
I
wow.
used. And she was using
Fancy.
something else. So, and that's why I logged in earlier to make sure everything was set up and good to go. So hers was canceled. And then I'm like, I don't trust my other Best Buy order now. Like, I don't feel comfortable. Throughout this whole thing, I was talking for weeks. I had been talking to Quince. Quince is a staffer on the site who does news multiple days. And I hired Quince or brought him on the team without knowing that he actually lives like 15 minutes away from me, which is crazy. Had no idea. So I was talking to him before the pre-orders were canceled the first time, and got shifted to the new date. I was like, do you maybe want to go to Best Buy and we'll stand outside in line and we'll meet?
Quince is in the Discord.
Oh my God. This guy was covering the site earlier today, and I was hanging out in the Discord. So I talked to him and I was like, do you want to go outside Best Buy and we'll meet in line and hang out? And he was like, yeah, but we were going back and forth on like, should we do online? Should we do in person? Should we do both? Whatever. And we talked about it until the day before, and we were both, nervous because we're like, we don't know what the right thing to do is. But I was talking to him. I was like, did you get one? And he had a situation that I had where I think it was through Target. He said he got like he did it and it went through, or he didn't secure the order, but it went to like the page right before you secure, and it told him it was going to show up between the 6th and the 11th, and it made him nervous, and he was like, nope, not doing that. And I was like, that's what I saw, and I thought the exact same thing. So he lost out, and then he said he was being stubborn because he wanted the Mario Kart World bundle, and he could not get that. I didn't even say any of that. I went for the bundle on some, but I also went for Best Buy had a standalone Switch with a physical copy of Mario Kart World, and I was like, I don't think a lot of people are going to click on that one. So that's the one I tried, and that's the only one that worked for me. In the end, that's the one that I actually got.
So that was a bundle that didn't
That
cost
was-
more than the $500 bundle?
No, it did. It cost like the price of the game. It was a standalone Switch, so $450, and then Mario Kart World on its own, so $80. So altogether it was
Oh, okay.
So you did
$530.
pay
So
a
where's
yeah.
that though? Sorry.
Best Buy.
Oh.
So
Not really the Best Buy. I
Not
guess.
really.
Mm.
So Quinn said he was being stubborn, and I was like, I totally get it, but it ended up in him not getting a pre-order, and I was like, well, what are you gonna do? And he said, I'll probably go to GameStop in the morning. So I had nervous energy just because this was hectic, and I didn't trust my Best Buy pre-order.
I was fast asleep.
So I went to sleep, and I got like 3 hours of sleep, and I woke up a little bit after 8. And I messaged Quince and be like, what's up? And he's like, well, I'm in line at GameStop. And I think he said he was the 4th person or something like that. And he's like, it's not bad here. So I was like, oh, I'm really nervous. So I went up and talked to Mom Brain. I was like, do you want to we'll go check out Best Buy and see what it's like there. And then we'll go over and surprise Quince in line at GameStop. She's like, yeah, let's go. So we went to Best Buy. Best Buy doesn't open till 10. Best Buy was not doing pre-orders in person. They were online only, which I had no idea about. So we drove there and no one was there. And we're like, something fishy's going on. And I looked online and saw that they were only doing them online, not in person. But the front of Best Buy had a ton of Nintendo signs, but they were all for the regular Switch. So I was like, what the
wondering-
hell's going on? I would imagine
wanna
people would
know-
pull up and be like, oh, I can pre-order. Oh, wait.
I want to know how many people bought a Switch
Right.
thinking they were pre-ordering or buying a Switch 2, because the packaging is very similar. The stuff on the, like, when you look up the list, like when you do a search, and because I did a search for Switch 2 and a bunch of Switch stuff came up,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is not.
Well, I mean, people
Cool.
figured it out because they got all sold out. So
I don't know. I feel like if you're there day one for the Switch
Yes,
2
you know what you're
pre-order,
doing.
then you know
But
a little bit of what you're doing.
there is a point to what Nicky Hill's saying, which I'll let Mom Brain talk about in a little
I
bit.
almost went for it. I was like,
It's
oh,
a
there's
really
one.
good deal.
I almost just like clicked on it because
There you go.
it was.
Nerves. There's a lot going on. You don't want to miss
It's
out.
in the
I get it.
middle of the night. Like people are
Yeah.
waking up to do this. You know what I mean? Like they're like, look at what's that?
Look at
Nintendo,
what-
Nintendo, it's red.
So we went to GameStop.
Or if it's
And-
Mom Brain, she's looking. It's too bright.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly
Oh,
correct.
that's good. We went to GameStop. I didn't tell Quince we were going. We surprised him there and said hello, met him, and finally got to talk in person. It
And
was
then
great.
you got a pre-order
he's
there,
So great.
and Quince was right behind you, and he didn't again.
So I texted him, or I sent him a message on Discord right before we got there, and he was like, "There's like 8 or 9 people in line now. Should be fine." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." So we showed up, surprised him, said hello, got to meet him. Very, very, very nice person. Had a great time. We're gonna get together for lunch at some point.
Does he know you not eat? What?
Does he know you not eat? He know I eat.
Me want honeycomb.
I don't know if he know what I eat. But anyway, we got in line. We were what, 10th? Right?
Maybe. I don't know. There were a lot of people.
It's a strip mall
shouting.
where it was, I don't know, a GameStop and a 7-Eleven.
Did he stay up in 4th, or did he come back to hang out
He
with
said
you?
that to me. He was like, I feel this is more than good enough. I can come back in line with you. And I was like, do not do that. I don't want to be responsible for
Can
you
you
missing
imagine?
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it. I would have loved to have like stood there and talked to him in line. But yeah, I was like, don't give up your spot. He says, who even know what, who eat and how? He's just, there you go. So we were in line. That GameStop had, what did I have? 29 Mario Kart World bundles and
No, I think it was like 30. I have the
39 Mario Kart World
Available?
bundles and 19 solo
or
bundles
14
available.
because the handwriting was not super great.
You think if you were writing the number, so GameStop had a piece of paper up, all the stores did it, or most of them did it, that said we have this many of this and this many of this. And you think if you were writing the numbers, you would take the time to write them very legibly, but
Can I
this
put
one
that in
number
the
said
Discord?
I would take a screenshot of it and send a screenshot. Because that removes your data. You think you would write the number very legibly because we're looking at the number and we're like, does it say 14 or does it say 19? We couldn't. It's like either way with our place in line, we're set, but still. So
That takes me back.
we got there. Oh, that's right. You're a retail man, former retail man.
No, I actually got a different story about 4s and 9s getting screwed
Oh,
up.
okay.
But I don't want to get derailed here.
So we got in line and we were like, with the number that they have, we're totally fine. We got there a little bit after 9 o'clock. And then as the time went on, GameStops don't open until noon. Who knew that?
The pre-orders were at.
Pre-orders online were at 11. So we got there right about at the best time, I think, because the line really started to take off after that. And the line got long enough.
That's 14, right?
I would say that's 19.
I would say 19, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's
What
the
is it really?
curve that-
We don't know.
Look, take it from a teacher. I think
Oh,
I think it's a 9 only because when you make a 4, it's you
You
go
wanna be a little
straight
bit more-
down
Yeah.
unless you've got
And it's crazy because he went through the trouble of putting the line through the
7.
7
So it's
to
a
let
9.
you know.
If it was a 4, that they'd have the line. They'd add the line, right?
probably.
So Quench just said it's actually hilarious how perfectly ambiguous that number is. Yeah, it's like he wrote it to be ambiguous on purpose. But anyway, the line really started to take off after that point, and it got to completely wrapped around the building. We were in the front. It went around the side and wrapped behind the building. And it eventually got to be so many people that they did not have enough units for everybody. So they had to turn people away. So it was
And
It was
who
crazy.
was in that group that got turned away? Talk about her.
I'll let Mom Brain talk about it because she saw her.
So and I can talk about the friend I made in line in the earlier.
Mm.
So I decided I was going to just take a look around the corner, and I look, and all I really can see, I see people, lots of people. And then there's like a preschool girl, like a little girl was there with a grown up. And
She was probably going to resell it on eBay.
We never saw her make it to the line, like to go in and buy it. Like we didn't. So
She
I'm
was not
assuming
when
they
we
sent
went
her away.
when the line started to get shuffled inside the doors when the store opened. She was not at the end of the line, but other people started joining the line, and there was only one GameStop employee working, so he could not tell them, "Hey, we
Don't
don't have
waste your
anymore,"
time,
because this
yeah.
line was
But
still
I'm
going
guessing that
down
the people
outside
at the end
building.
of the line were saying,
No,
like,
we
hey.
were watching people walk up to the line when we were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to Quinn's. People were
Yeah.
joining the line. Also, when we were in line, people, it was pretty funny. So people don't know what you're in line for. So some people ask, "What are you in line for?"
because it
Mom
was
Brain
pretty
and
busy.
I are
It's
like,
in the morning. It's by a 7-Eleven, so like there was a good amount of traffic.
Mom Brain and I are like, "Oh, we're here for the Switch 2," and they're like, "Oh, okay." Other people were like, "Is this the line for Best or for 7-Eleven?" We were like, "No, you can go." But because the line has, I'll say kindly, very dedicated Nintendo fans, when they were asked, "What are you in line for?" they lied through their teeth because they
Well,
did
we
not
just
want
saw that
anybody to
happen
get in
once.
line with them. No, it happened
Oh.
again when you went
Wait.
over to the car.
So-
People who are already in line are going to lie about what they're there
Yeah,
for because
yes.
they don't want people behind them.
Look, it was
They they don't. You never know what's going to happen. They
so
weren't.
so
down
a
with it.
guy comes over to them and is like, oh, what's this a line for? Is there something big going on? And the guy goes, no, there's nothing big going on. And the
like
man
looked
was
away.
like,
Just was like ended ended
real
the conversation by
squirrely.
looking at the wall next to him.
so then the guy's like, oh, is there like something coming out? And he goes, yeah, big launch for Grand Theft Auto 6. And the guy was like, oh, really? And they like talked about Grand
He
Theft
started
Auto.
talking about Grand Theft Auto, so I'm sure the guy that was lying was like, "Oh God, I got myself in a
Yeah,
situation."
now he's gonna
where-"
get
And the
in line
man
again.
walked
Line, right.
away, and then the guy that was lying in line like turns to his friend and he's like, "Got him!"
Yeah.
Like he was like so proud of himself. And I'm like, "Buddy, you've got your spot in line, and if he was to
Yeah.
get in line, like, what?
He's behind you.
I think he just thought it was like really funny.
Also, what if that guy got in line and waited for over an hour for Grand Theft Auto
sold out.
6
Sold out.
and it's not even out? And like now that guy just wasted
Well,
an
he could have
hour of
fudged
his
it and
time?
been like, "Oh, I said pre-order. You didn't hear me," because the guy can go
Well,
in and
the
pre-order.
GameStop employee, the singular GameStop employee working that day, came
He
around
Said,
and wrote
Nintendo
down.
Switch 2, get your Nintendo Switch 2.
He could. You're not far off. You're really not far off. He could not have
he go,
been. All of this is not far off. He could not have been any more quintessential GameStop
Except he
employee.
wasn't wearing a trench coat, like a black
No,
trench
he
coat.
wasn't. He was
But-
wearing he was wearing a Cyberpunk Edge Runners shirt, so the anime. But he brought out like a little step stool and put it on the corner and was like town crier, and he's like, "Hello, everyone!
I
Here
will
for
not be
Switch
putting up with any bull shovel.
Yeah, he's cursing.
I'll
It's
kick
like,
your ass out of this line. I'll kick you out of my
"I'll
store.
kick you in the
Wait,
F out of
really?
line."
He was
yeah,
cursing?
for-
Yeah.
He's like, "No punching, no kicking. If there's any roughhousing, you're out of line. You get it?" And everybody's
And
like,
no
"Yes."
smoking.
And he goes, "We're not effing around here."
Yeah.
But he's like, "Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take your name. I'm gonna take what you want, and then you're gonna give me the details inside."
So how many people left the line because of the cursing? I mean, because of the language.
Well, the front of the line is all we could see, and everybody was still there.
And
But
interestingly enough, we were standing in front of a sign at the 7-Eleven from like the landlord, like the
that said "F you."
that said like, here are the rules for like the shopping plaza, and one of them was like no vulgar language. And
So
so,
as he's doing
saying
it,
that, Rummy's
I'm
like,
like,
vulgar
pointing to the side. But anyway, then he,
Did the preschool girl hear the cursing?
probably.
and she said "F this" and got out of line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did that, whatever, and then the guy came through line, and we gave our information and all that, and he was like gently like, "Do you want to place a pre-order for, or do you want any screensaver
And you
or
said, "F
screen
yes."
protectors, or you want Donkey Kong Bonanza?" And we're like, "No, we're good." And then he went on. Mom Brain, you want to talk about your friend in line?
Oh yeah. So, well, he also, we can talk about what he did to me at the
Oh
counter.
yeah, I'm
But
saving that.
so we're in line, and like one guy came after us, and then like people trickled in kind of slowly after us, and a woman who is older than us, but not like by a whole lot, comes up. She's got her chair, and she looks like she's like nervous about like seeing how many people are in line. And I was like, if you want, you can go. There's a note on the door that says how many are available, but I think you should be fine. And I showed her the picture of it on my phone, and she was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I have a son at home and he's autistic."
And Mom Bear was like, my boyfriend's autistic.
And she's like, and if I don't get this, I mean, he really perseverates on things. And I was like, well, actually, I'm a BCBA. I just got credentialed yesterday, so I know exactly what.
Before that, didn't know anything, but now,
Right.
know it all.
All of a sudden, she was like, he's 17. She was like, he's super like high functioning, I think is what she
I'll
said.
take the high function.
And she said he wanted to take the day off school, but it was senior portrait day. And so he couldn't take the day off. And she goes, last night we were trying to get him one online. We couldn't get the pre-order. So when he woke up this morning, he was like, could you get it? And she was like, no, but I'm going to go get in line at GameStop. And she goes, he started to get like upset. And she goes, I had to tell him, don't ruin your senior picture. I will get you a Switch. It's okay. So she said she dropped her kids off at school, her husband off at work, took a quick meeting, and then came to get in line. And I was like, you listen to me. You need anything? I am right here. I said, we are getting one Switch between the two of us. So if you need me to come sit in your spot, so you could go get a coffee or go pee or go home, I will do that for you. Whatever you need, I am here. She was like, thank you so much.
Everybody in
Appreciate
line,
it.
honestly, no one was mean at all.
Except for
Except
the
for
one
the people
that
who were
like,
lying.
lied
So-
about.
Good
Oh, well,
Lord.
yeah, they
My
were.
Well, we
Yes,
had a
you're
very
right,
strict
you're right.
line captain.
But everybody else
Which
was
is the
very nice.
Funniest thing
But
to lie
yes,
about. I'm
we
sorry,
had the-
man.
we had the,
oh my gosh.
We had the line captain. There's always a line
Quince
captain.
and the
at these
line
things.
captain were near each other in
Yeah.
line, like really
It
close
was
to
like
each other
a
in line.
big guy who was very vocal, and he's like, I'm really proud of everybody here. Nobody's causing any trouble. And he's like walking up and down the whole line. It's just the guy in line to get the
He
Switch
doesn't
too.
work at
No,
GameStop.
it doesn't
When
work
he
there
left
at all.
line
in like
just to
basketball
put-
shorts and a
He
t-shirt.
had other people in line.
And
Older
he
than
was
us?
also no,
Younger.
he was also complaining about his allergies.
Mid-20s.
No.
No, we didn't even
Yeah.
get to that part of the story yet. So I guess we'll go there now. This is so ridiculous. I can't even believe it. And Quince was like talking about it before I got there, and it's just unbelievable. That day of all days was when they were tearing up the parking lot to, I don't know.
Just
Oh.
the handicap spots, the section right on the sidewalk, like right there.
So there's like a big dump truck and a big whatever. You know what they are. Diggers. So we're there for
a
3.5
grave
wave diggers.
That's-
We're there for 3.5 hours, and almost the entire time it's like like super loud noises. Literally right in front of
It
us. And
was-
Quince was like, "This is like, can you believe of all days this is going on right
I'm
now?"
like, I go down, like Rami goes
Now
to say
that-
hello. I go down and I'm like, I gotta go. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're like, "It's really nice to meet
So,
you." And
like-
the things like it was crazy.
If you're gonna lie about anything of why you're lined up, that's what you lie about. We're all here to see this. Like
Watch
this
the
is,
construction.
like they're removing the handicap spot here, and
Then all the
It's-
trucks finally left.
this was
but
the first handicap spot in New Jersey.
They brought
we're
out
all
the
here to commemorate.
what's that thing called?
The tamper.
The tamper. So that guy's going around flattening the whole spot, and it's boop, 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 boop. And I was like, this is crazy. And Quince, I believe, said that they were originally supposed to start that earlier, like weeks earlier, and something happened, and it ended up getting bumped to that day.
Was
It was just
Quince
like
on the city
comedy of
council?
errors. The man was there for hours. He was there since 7 a.m, so he had inside information. There you go. Quince is putting pictures of it in the chat. There you go. If you're in the Discord, you see pictures of
We
the
should have taken
situation.
a picture of all three of us together.
Well, we could have done it afterwards,
Yeah.
but yeah, during.
Because he's just such a cute little punum.
You're being really weird about it, but
He was
I'll
just
let
such
you
a
handle
lovely
that.
human.
There, that's a nice thing to say.
He was a very lovely human.
So we finally got in line we finally got inside the building, and we put in our pre-order. And Mom Brain, you wanted to tell the rest of the story.
Good.
Yeah, why wouldn't somebody say that that's the reason you're all lined up?
I said it to the guy that was working
Well,
there. I was like,
here's-
"You ever have so many people come out and watch you do this?" And he was laughing about
Because
that.
they had to like
but-
put out more cones and caution tape because
Yeah.
people didn't,
Right.
you know.
Oh, the guy you're talking about, the allergy guy.
Did anybody
So-
applaud them? Like, did
Yes,
you cheer them
we did.
on?
Yes, we did.
All right.
So, by the way, all this is going on, obviously. So there's tons of dust clouds going on while we're there because they're digging up the ground. And the line captain was like, "Oh, this is killing me. I can't breathe.
I think he used the F word. I think
Yeah.
he was like, "This is effing up my
Oh, yeah.
allergy."
It's effing up my
Stuff.
lungs."
Yeah.
So he went in the 7-Eleven and came out with a Monster Energy.
There was a lot of Monster Energy
Like,
drinks.
when
in
you
that
get a
line.
water if this is your problem? But he
Holy
came out with a
cow.
Monster Energy.
There were a lot.
What can make me forget how bad I feel about the dust?
My body
and
can't handle
remember-
this dust. Let me get something natural like a Monster Energy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go in the store.
He has somebody saving his place, right? I mean,
He I
think
mean, he
had
was talking
established
to
himself well enough.
he talked to everybody like he knew everybody, which he clearly didn't. But I think there were people there he did actually know.
there
Who's
was
the
a
mayor?
young there was a young man who brought munchkins. He like came through with this box of munchkins. He
Yeah.
was like, "Anybody want munchkins?"
By the
Like,
way, I need to say this, and I
They're
forgot.
poisoned probably, so now
Yeah.
they're in the
At,
front.
So you can
at
skip
11
the
in the
line.
morning when GameStop stuff went live online, and I was talking to you, and you sent me the screenshot of the site, the gateway error because it was crashing.
were
and I was
there in
like,
line
just stick
already.
with it. I was in line, and right as you said that, the guy next to me was like, "Look," and he showed me his phone. He's like, "Even their website's not working." It had the exact same error that you did. I was like, "My friend's talking to me about that right now." But anyway, you're in the store.
So, we had gone through the whole rigmarole of he had a clipboard and he took your name while you're waiting in line, took your name. He asked all the questions. Do you want the protection plan? I highly recommend you get the insurance and he's like getting quiet. He's like, it's a system launch and
And
highly
stick
recommend.
drift on the old one
Uh-huh.
too, just so you know.
So, I'm like, nope, Mario Kart bundle, pro controller, done. That's what I want. So then I go inside and I think this is just going to be a quick, right? Like he's got my name. He didn't capitalize the first letter of my
Tried to
first
sell
name.
you
I think
some
he'd wanna
windshield
move
wipers
quick too if he's the only person
and
there.
he also made it a point to say, as we were he came back out a second time to stand on his step stool and say, I forgot, if you have a trade-in, you can trade it in right now, but
A
it's
switch trading.
but-
Switch trading.
right. But I would appreciate it if you didn't, because I really just want to get through the line.
He was like, "You can trade it in anytime in between now and when it launches." He's
But you
like,
also don't want to because you
don't
want
do
to
it now."
transfer everything, right?
Yes, you would think so, but he's just like, we don't have
Right.
to do this now.
So, but he's like spending so much time with each person in line, like talking to them, whatever. And I'm like, this doesn't look like a man who wants to get through the line. So we finally get up there and he tries again
Mm.
to sell me the protection plan. And I was like,
Hi, Joe Shabadoo.
no, again.
wonder if
I
he
can
gets something.
see the clipboard where it showed, right? I'm like, I just want what's on the paper. And he's like, okay, what's your GameStop account number? And I was like, I don't have one. And he goes, okay, so for now we'll just sign you up for the free one, but I highly recommend the paid subscription because you'll get da 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 blah 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 blah. And I like looked at him and I was like, unless I have to have a GameStop account in order to do this pre-order, I don't want any form of an account. And he looked at me like I had said we should euthanize every kitten ever birthed
He
into the world.
completely shut down as a person. Like he was dead there. He like
And I don't
typed
think I
stuff
was
in the
mean.
computer.
I wasn't like,
she
I was
No,
just
you
like
weren't.
firm. I was
You
like, no,
weren't
look, buddy.
mean
Like
at all in any way, shape, or form, or cold or anything. He just like typed stuff up. Mom Brain paid for it, and then that was it. Like he didn't even like look at us.
Now,
Like
look.
gave us the receipt. Literally didn't say anything, and I was like, "Thank you very much." And he wasn't even looking
If
at us.
there-
Like we were dead. to
and
him.
like there were people in line in
He's
front of
gonna
us.
stomp all over that system when it comes
Well,
in.
he
before
had
you
to
get
like
pick
go
it
in
up.
the back and get like, what was it, like a PS4
Somebody
controller
when they
charger.
were in line was like, "I need something for the PS4," so he's got to go leave line to go get this.
And I like know all these people have been waiting. And if I was, I'm still waiting in line and I'm like, are you for real? You couldn't come back and do like all these people just want to, and he's the one employee here. So
Right.
I think if I
That's crazy.
if it hadn't been like a line situation and like a thing, I probably would have been like, all right, sign me up for the free account because I'm sure you like get something for that or whatever. But like knowing there were all these, there were like 50 people behind us.
I think it took us longer because you were saying no.
probably.
it's so
I
annoying.
probably should've just
But like,
yielded.
can you imagine
But
being
you're
the person
crazy.
who
I
hears
mean, you get $5 back every month.
That's what he was
However,
like. He's like,
you need.
You're
So it
paying
used
how
to be-
much?
It used to be you get $5 every month. So like every month on the first day of the month or whatever, whenever it renews, you go in and you go, I would like a $5 Nintendo Switch card or whatever,
yeah.
and you could get it. At the end of the month, if you don't collect your $500, if you don't collect your $5, it's wiped out, and so the next month you only have $5. It doesn't build up,
Yeah.
and now you have to buy something, some product. You can't just get a gift card or
Because they probably got
get credit for, because I think that's what I did in the past too, is like I cashed it out on a gift card, and they're like, no, you need to buy something. You can't just build it up. And I was like, this is worthless to me.
When we were in line, he was like, or when we were trying to check out, he's like, well, if you do this and you get this account, you'll get a $5 coupon. And then when you get home, we'll email you another $5 coupon. And then when you come to get the system, you'll get 10,000 GameStop points or whatever. And we were like, no. And then
Which
he got
is
mad.
I think 10,000 is worth $1.
And I was like,
I'm just kidding.
I wanted to be like, sir, I'm
10.
never coming back here.
Well, right, like-
I'll see you maybe in 4 years when another system comes out, but
you're
I'm
gonna
not
pick it
going to
up,
come
or
here.
is it getting shipped to your house?
No, we got to go pick it up. But I'm not going to spend any more money. We're paid off. It's done. We're
He's
not
gonna
going to
hold
spend
it.
any
He's
more
gonna
money.
be like, so you want
I
that? You want
remember
that?
you.
You
But
want
you
that?
know, he like made it sound like you
Membership?
had to have at least the free. Like it was
Right.
I don't think he overtly really, I'm not claiming he did anything shady, but it was just one of those things where I was like, and like I had the face of like, no,
Right.
like the whole time, and he's like talking to. I'm like, bud, I'm trying to get through the line. for
I
you."
understand they have their quotas, and I understand they have to push that, and I do feel bad for him. But you think you would be like a little?
Yeah.
I'm
Used
not
to
trying to be
rejection.
mean.
I mean, how not
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
says yes to that. So
Yeah.
why did you take that personally, buddy?
And
Yeah.
like, read the room. Like clearly I've just given off like, no thanks. Like I don't want the
Plus,
insurance. And
how
he like
long-
tried to make me feel bad about it.
Yeah.
How long had you been waiting up until that point?
Right.
It's like I don't want
Over
to be here
3.5
all.
hours,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't need to be here an extra 15 minutes to fill this out
Yeah.
for something I'm never going to use.
Joe Shabadoo says they have 3 to 5 different versions of a script to convince you it pays for itself. Slimy. Yeah, like I said, I don't fault the guy for it because I know he's got to do it. But yes, like Mom Brain said, we made it clear outside that we didn't want anything and weren't going to do anything. And then again, inside, more forcefully, but not in a rude way at all. We were like, no, we're not doing
It
anything.
just used to be it used to be a benefit, and now you have to every time now you have to spend like $40 to get a
Yeah.
$5 off. Like it does.
Back in the
work
day,
out.
maybe because
Just
I
like
was at
everything
GameStop
else.
all the time, but I don't go to GameStop all the time now.
Yeah.
And we got it, and then we left, and we said goodbye to Quince. We talked to him for a little bit, and Quince, his car was parked in by the dump truck.
Oh no!
Because he got there before, I guess, the construction people.
Yeah.
So then they came and like
They,
put
he,
cones out.
but he
like,
went and talked to whatever
it's
you
like,
want to
do you
say,
have
the
someone who
foreman.
could help you come get your car later? Because we'll bring you home if you need us to like get you home.
But
And-
they
hooked it up to
let
the
him
front
out.
end loader
Yeah.
and
They let him out. So that was our whole fiasco.
and
It
it
was
was we had a nice morning. I mean,
in line was fine. We were having to find. I wish
I
we had.
hope-
I wish I had a chair, but other than that, it
I
was
hope
a
that
nice
one
time.
guy
Weather
got
was
his
nice.
Grand Theft Auto 6 pre-order.
He didn't get in line.
Oh,
He didn't get in
I
line.
mean, not that we saw.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
And on your way out, I made this joke earlier, but I'll make it again. On your way out, you passed the girl and you said loudly, "Oh, thank goodness I managed to get my second Switch 2 pre-ordered."
Well, we debated both of us doing a pre-order because we were like, at that point, didn't know who was going to be able to get one and who wasn't, and we were both like,
I'm surprised you
No.
didn't. I thought you because like so many people that eventually are going to be like,
we felt like it's one thing to say one for each of us. It's another to be like, there's people in line doing the work in line and like trying to get it. Like I think it was the little kid. That
I
we were
wanted
like,
to minimize our damage. If we could have done something specifically for the little kid, yes.
You
but
should have.
we
Yeah,
couldn't.
that'd be cool if you got it and then gave your pre-order to the
Yeah,
little
but
kid.
we can't. I said that to Mom Brain. We can't even do that.
right,
So.
'cause
And
I
that's
think you have to be
honestly-
there to pick it up,
yeah.
right?
like part of the reason why I wanted to get it pre-ordered now. One of it was because who knows what's going to happen with the tariffs, and the second is like, if I don't get to play it myself, if I don't take the time to open it up and like get into it, but then, you know, a family member or friend, somebody who really wanted it and couldn't get it, wants one or something, then like
Yeah.
at least I have it locked in. And if none of that happens, I'm gonna make a couple $100 on eBay. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna sell it.
Did the mother who had the autistic kid get one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put.
She was only like 4 spots away from us in line, but I heard her saying she had 4 kids and 3 of them wanted one, and she was like, they're not going to share, but she only got one there because that's
But
all they allow.
her 17-year-old is her youngest, so they're all like old enough to.
They should be getting their
like,
own.
yeah.
What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna take my Switch and put it in the Switch 2 case and sell that.
Fair enough.
Good idea.
Fair enough.
Good
That
idea.
works on eBay. Those things are all over eBay right now.
Yeah.
Pictures of the Switch
I'm
2
also
you can
not
buy.
serious about that,
But
but I'll trade it in at GameStop.
so power to the players. So yeah, that was it. And now we all just hope that our pre-orders stick and everything works as it's supposed to. I'll go into my Best Buy app right now. I check it once a day. I have
Yeah.
not checked it today. I just go in to see if it still says that it's there. But at least we got 2 now. And Nicky Hill, I'm so glad that yours went through. And Best Buy says it's still there.
I wanted to surprise you guys, but then I got nervous. I was like, oh gosh, I hope
Oh,
like
God.
nobody tried to pre-order one
Oh
to
man.
help me out or something, because then I'd feel bad.
That's why I asked you if you were looking for the bundle only, because one of our friends snagged a bundle for himself and the regular Switch too, and he was like, I can, give that to a family member or a friend.
too.
He's got the magic. It was Adam. He's got the magic touch. He went on Target and was in and out in like 5 minutes after midnight. He was done. Like he got it, no problems,
I
nothing.
was so
And he was
pissed
able
off
to
at him.
secure 2.
The next day he
Tried
did
again.
GameStop.
Yeah,
right?
he snagged
Oh.
one
and got one off of GameStop.
easily
no
off
problem.
of GameStop, but it wasn't the bundle, and that's why I kind of reached out to you, feeling out if you would be interested in the non-cart version. But
Well, after noobs, don't give up. Follow Wario64. I'm not sharing the minutia of the pre-order stuff now because we're after the big push, but follow Wario64 on Threads or Twitter. I don't know if he's on Blue Sky or not, but he'll be your best way of getting in on one. Look, Nicky Hill is proof positive right here. He got it because I sent him one of Wario's things as soon as it went up, and he snuck a pre-order in there.
Well, you sent it at 1 a.m. and I actually logged in at like 8 or 8:30 and got it. So
They were going like in and out of stock
So
regionally
that's the thing to be.
all during
Just
that
keep
time.
checking because
Yeah.
they're clearing out.
Even if
you
the
know.
pre-order button is grayed out, still try clicking it because it can work. And on top of that, like we just said, Costco, it appears, will be launch day. You as long as you have a Costco membership, you should be able to snag one. So
boom,
that's 5 big
Great
booms
job.
for that one.
I got it
definitely.
right. I
That's
got it right.
There you go. Wario64 is on Blue Sky. So follow him on your social media of choice. Yes, don't give up yet. And as I said, retailers are still going through their orders to make sure there's no duplicates and get rid of bots. So they will have stock that trickles out. Hi, Laxter. Do you think his handwriting got worse the longer he worked there?
Oh yeah, maybe.
What are you talking about?
The sign, because I said he said he worked there forever, the
Oh.
employee. Like, and so I'm sure he probably has all the,
Yeah.
All right. Since we brought it up again, 1991, Jersey Shore. Everyone's in line to get the Pepsi license to chill card.
We all were. Yeah.
So you wait in line. You had to fill out a form, put all your information on it, and then you do a blind taste test. And if you pick Pepsi over Coke, you get the card. So
Oh, you had to earn
11-year-old
that
Dew
license.
Michaels is there with his 16-year-old brother, and we must have gone through, waited in that line, and my brother filled out dutifully all the forms for me every single time. He got it right the first time. I kept picking Coke every single
Wow.
time.
You did it multiple times. They
So
let
many,
you.
6 or 7 times.
How
I'm
long
telling
was
you.
this line?
I remember it being long. It probably wasn't that long, but like so we get to I don't even know what time which time through it was, like the 8th or something. And my brother was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, fill it out. So I fill out one for him and one for me. And his birthday is September, and I put in a 9 for September, but because I wrote it quickly, it looked like a 4 apparently. Now you get the card and then they print out like a little dog tag for you with like your information. I was like so excited for this. You have no idea. It was 11.
Understandably.
And my brother gets it and it says like, he was born in April and he was 16 at the time. And he's like, oh, look at this. I can legally drive now because my stupid brother. And I was like, oh no. And I felt awful. And then there was something about, I forget what it was. So one of the letters in my name, I think I didn't like connect it at the top. So they made it a U instead of an A or so. I don't even remember. I wish I still had the
Andrew.
dog tag, but yeah, so that's so I
So you
feel
got it right on your pass.
yes. So then what I had to do was get up onto like a little ledge and say, everybody, screw you. And I'm trying to do like the GameStop guy cursing at him. No, I don't know. I totally get being a child and screwing up. And that's what I did.
Do you think you could pass the test now?
I was so confident even as a kid that I could do it. And I thought she was lying to me. And in fact, like I said, on the last one, she gave me a look. I was like, this is Pepsi. And she gave me a look like, and then just gave me the license to chill card. I swear to God. And she didn't say I got it right or wrong. I could just tell that I never got it right.
Yeah.
And but the important thing is I still got the Pepsi license to chill card.
You still have. You're probably one of the few people who still has that card.
What's funny is you take the card and you immediately go to, they had a Pepsi machine right next to it that took the card and like gave it back to you, but you got one free Pepsi. And I
Dude
did
got it and it was like, this tastes like
Coke. That's exactly what the joke I was gonna say. All right, but anyways, thanks for letting me go off on that. It's a great memory, but it does have some sadness to it.
No, that's what makes for the great memory when it has that sadness to it. God, that's funny. Please redo the Pepsi challenge next week on the podcast, says Quince. I mean, it's up to you. We'll gladly do it if you're down for it.
I don't know.
You will have to fill out a form.
It would have to be real Pepsi and real Coke. We can't do the calorie-free stuff.
Somebody recently sold one on April 23rd, a 1991 Pepsi license to chill card for $9.99.
I don't know how you could get rid of it. I mean, you got to be real
Sell
hard
it
up
on
for
eBay.
$10.
There's things in your life
emotionally
you've
good, yeah.
cherished forever. Your children, your Pepsi license to chill card.
If you came up and were like, I'm giving you $500 for it, I might say yes. But like $9, I'm never gonna do that. And you'd have to do it in person. There's no way I'm shipping it to you. Like you gotta cash in hand.
You would do it for $500, but then I think you would hit a time in your life where you'd be like, that wasn't worth it.
Oh, of course. Like it's how I feel about
5 minutes
every
later.
single video game I've ever traded in, even
Yeah.
like the crappy ones. It's
Yeah.
like, why did I do that? Like it wasn't worth it. And it certainly wouldn't be worth it for the Pepsi license to chill card as well.
So this whole credit card would get you one free Pepsi.
Worth it. All right, that's our Switch 2 pre-order saga. Let's get into some regular news.
Technically, I might have gotten a free Coke too because of how many like shot glasses of Coke I had to try.
Oh, that's why your handwriting was so wild, because you were all,
I was all hepped up.
you had all that caffeine in you.
It's especially embarrassing. I'm a Coke man now if I had to choose.
Whoa,
but
Coca-Cola.
like a Coca-Cola man now if I had to choose. But at the time, I mean, I loved Pepsi as a kid. There's no way I should have gotten it wrong so many times. It's a shame.
It is crazy for you to be like, I love Pepsi. I also have no idea what Pepsi tastes like, and I have only one other choice. Let me tell you, I love Pepsi to death, but you put something else next to it, I can't tell what I'm drinking. I do love Pepsi. I always love Pepsi. You know what I always loved? At the supermarkets, they had that they had like a Pepsi cup with like a swirling like Pepsi stream going into it. It was like mechanical, and I wanted it so bad. They had one here at our local supermarket, and I was like, I want that. I'm sure if I look up on eBay, it's there somewhere, but I thought it was the coolest thing, and I'm still a Pepsi man. I love Pepsi, but I don't have a license to chill card, so it's not official. I'm not an official Pepsi fan, but
well, as you could tell from the story, there are some flaws with obtaining the card. Some people might not have earned the license.
I think you earned it, just not in the conventional way.
I agree with that. Yes.
Hey,
you
some people
certainly
have to
earned
take
it.
their driving test, 8-9 times.
Some people pass it the first time.
Did anybody here have to take it 8 or 9 times?
No, I'm just saying some people probably do.
You're saying it like you know someone who.
No,
did.
I'm just trying to make
okay.
him feel
All right,
better.
all
I
right.
think
here.
he's just saying 8 or 9 because that's about how many times I did the
Yeah.
Pepsi license
Oh,
to
okay,
chill
okay.
test.
Laxter said trade it in for a Switch 2.
There you go. Yeah.
Or maybe try to swipe it and like just use it to pay. See if that works. Because you don't want to trade it in.
I would love to see a series where you see if anybody would be willing to give you anything for the card, not to give up the card, but like, can I use this card
Like
here?
a
and
Billy
see if
on
I-
the street kind of a.
Exactly.
You know what I
exactly.
think I'm gonna try? So at least with my Capital One, you can, when you get a credit card, you can choose a photo from
Yeah.
your JPEGs. I think I'll just take like a really
Ooh.
nice photo
Mhm.
of the Pepsi license to chill card and
Mhm.
see if they can use that as the picture on my card.
Yep.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
It's a
Or
great idea.
they sell like you get those stickers that go over your
Yeah.
card. So maybe you can
Mm.
even just try to print that out that way. Yeah.
And it's the taste of a
Sure.
new generation.
Ooh, well done.
All right. I'm gonna skip that one
Oh, the
because it was
choice.
an update to an older one. This is, a lot of people sent this to me. It's very expected, but still people are excited, so I'll give it to you. When the Switch 2 was officially revealed in full form through the hour-long Nintendo Direct, Nintendo showed some first-party titles, including Donkey Kong Bonanza, and people were like, "Where's Mario? I want
Starring
a new
Michael
Mario."
London, right? Is he coming back? for
Michael
that?
Landon?
Michael Landon. He was
No.
in that, right?
He passed away, sadly.
Oh, what?
Yeah, long ago.
Oh, is that right before he did Touched by an Angel?
He got touched?
Mm.
Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser spoke to CNN, and CNN was like, "Where's Mario?" And Doug Bowser said, "Quote, stay tuned. We
And
have a
CNN was
long,
like,
long
"Oh."
catalog and a long list of intellectual property that I'm sure will make its way to the platform." Like, these are the kind. It annoys me because CNN. They're going to get access to everything, and their guy is asking, "Where's Mario?" Like, you're going to get a Mario game on the Switch too. You don't have to ask that question. We all know it's going to happen. It's such a waste of your interview with Nintendo of America's president to be like, we didn't see a Mario game. Are you going to have a Mario? It's the dumbest question in the world. It'd be like, is there going to be a Legend of Zelda game on this? Like, why are you wasting time with this question? But there you go. So stay tuned for any franchise that you want from Nintendo that's not on Switch 2 or hasn't been announced for Switch 2 yet, because newsflash, Nintendo revisits their franchises for new installments. So you'll probably get one.
Wait, this is Mario's 40th year. That's what Radical Defect says. So I imagine it's
believe it.
true.
Sure.
Wow. Wow.
King Broly says, makes me think it will either be a very short time or a very long time.
So that
or
means
maybe it'll be a
Donkey
middle
Kong
of
is
the road
older
time.
than 40, right?
Well, Donkey Kong and Jumpman were together. It depends on how you count Jumpman as Mario or not.
But the original Nintendo Entertainment System came out in 85,
Sure.
right?
I'm bad at history. Sounds right.
But you're good at Nintendo news, and that's what I'm talking
News, yeah. New.
about.
Not olds. Yeah, I'm bad with
Donkey
years
Kong
and stuff.
came out before the NES, right? It was in the arcade.
Yes,
So
correct.
maybe they all came out in 85. I don't
Maybe.
know. But hey,
Only there was a place to find
they
out.
slap a bow tie, a necktie on the man and on the beast, on the ape, and call him a
Mhm.
donkey. I don't know.
Mhm.
Don't know where that was going, but
we're
we
still
gotta
going.
celebrate.
We don't need to talk about that. Quick update on Nintendo suing that streamer. We talked about this guy a while ago. There was a streamer on Twitch who was like, I'm going to steal Nintendo games and I don't care what they do. And I'm going to keep streaming them. I'm going to tell everybody to do piracy. And surprise, surprise, Nintendo was against that. The streamer's name was Every Game Guru. While Nintendo is continuing their fight to try and get this guy. And now Nintendo has reached out to Discord because they want to no, wait, is it? Hold on a second.
Hello, Red Souza. Welcome.
What is going on here? I'm conflating two stories. Sorry. Nintendo seeking an injunction against this guy because the streamer has evaded service and failed to respond to Nintendo's complaint. By his failure to respond, defendant has admitted the factual allegations in Nintendo's complaint, and the court must accept the complaint's well-pleaded allegations regarding liability as true. So Nintendo's looking to get $10,000 for infringement on Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Nintendo's also looking for statutory damages of $7,500 in regards to circumvention and trafficking claims. And then finally, Nintendo wants a permanent injunction against Every Game Guru from further engaging in violations of Nintendo's rights. So they haven't sealed the deal yet, but they continue to fight this guy and squash him in his place. We'll see what happens.
And this is from playing a pirated version of a game.
Multiple pirated versions of Nintendo games and telling people to pirate games.
on...
So
I'm
being
surprised
brazen about being
that price
pirated.
is low. That
It's per injunction, or it's
Oh.
per whatever.
Per-
So it's
yeah.
there's multiple. Yeah. Here you go. Nintendo. We often talk about how bad. The word is escaping me. How bad scalpers and scammers are here in the States when it comes to game systems. They scoop up pre-orders, they turn around and they put them on eBay and other auction sites or third-party resellers. And, that's been going on for years. It happens with every system. It's happening right now with Switch 2. There's people who are on eBay selling their pre-orders for $750 or lying and selling pre-orders for a picture of the Switch 2 or an empty Switch 2 box and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. So the situation is horrible here, but believe it or not, it's always worse in Japan. They have a situation that's with scalpers over there that's infinitely worse. And Nintendo attempted to squash that situation through something we see a lot of Japanese retailers do often. Japanese retailers don't open pre-orders right away. They do lotteries to allow people to pre-order a system. So you sign up for a lottery. People are chosen from the lottery. And then if you're chosen through the lottery, that means you are then able to pre-order a system. So you pay as you normally would, but you have to win the chance to pre-order something. Is everything all right, dude?
It's not for the podcast.
Okay.
But no.
And
Everyone's
okay?
healthy.
Okay.
Everyone's healthy, just not in their brain. Sorry. This is insane. I just got everything's fine. Everything's good.
You need a moment? You need to step away? You're good?
I'll be fine. I'll
Okay,
get
just
over it.
making sure. So you sign up for a lottery and you hopefully win the chance to pre-order. Nintendo did that through their own website, the My Nintendo website. But there are a whole bunch of other steps Nintendo was doing to try and ensure that legitimate people would get these pre-order opportunities. So it was like, you have to have a Switch Online account or a My Nintendo account. You have to have a Switch. You have to have played your Switch for at least 50 hours. All these things to get through to finally get into the chance to pre-order the system if you're chosen through the lottery. Well, this
We've
was
come a long way from. Is there a stop sign in this picture?
That's right. That's right. So a lot of people were making that
Don't
joke
get me
about
all the
Josh.
time.
I can't tell you how many comments I got about Josh on social media that were like, poor Josh probably couldn't get a pre-order because he couldn't get past those captcha things and nobody was there to help him.
None of your business. Why don't you say that?
So sorry, Josh.
Well,
I'm
he's
so sorry.
got over 50 hours in, but it's with Call of Duty, so it's not on the Switch.
That's right. That's right.
Call of Duty, bro.
So
maybe Tetris, right?
even with all of that stuff,
But he plays on Tetris.com.
he's a big fan of Tetris.com. Even with all that stuff, Nintendo announced that 2.2 million people in Japan signed up for the My Nintendo thing. That's, again, just for the chance to pre-order via the lottery through Nintendo specifically. So that way outdid the what Nintendo was expecting for these pre-orders, and they were expecting a huge amount. But even with all these things in place, these barriers in place, 2.2 million people sign up for this lottery system. And Nintendo was like, guys, we got to be honest, we can't fulfill that. Like, that's too much. 2.2 million is too much. Now, obviously, other retailers were doing lottery systems, and it doesn't mean just because Nintendo shuts you out, you don't have a chance other places. But still, you have to win a chance to get in. So Nintendo put out a very lengthy apologies for it.
And that guy who's living naked in a room on that
On that
reality
game
show,
4 years ago.
he won the lottery.
Well, here's the. That's right, he did.
No,
Sorry, I was taking
don't
a
really
drink.
know if he actually did, but that would be funny if, there was somebody in It wouldn't be funny. It's sad. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
What? Somebody living in a room naked on camera.
Uh-huh.
It's, that was a horrible experience if you watched that documentary.
I imagine it was. So Nintendo apologized. They said they're going to do what they can to get more units out there as quickly as they can. But obviously, situation is rough for them, especially worldwide, because they have places that they can't sell them because of tariffs and blah, 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 a whole bunch of stuff. But Nintendo's going to do what they can. So the company president put out an apology. But 2.2 million just for Nintendo alone. That should give you an idea of just how crazy Switch 2's launch is going to be. It's going to be an unbelievably humongous launch week for this system.
Laxter said, I heard a guy tried to order a Switch 2 from a scalper off eBay, got a copy of GTA 6. Go figure.
I think I know that guy.
Damn it. It blew my mind. Continue.
What blew
I
your
forgot.
mind?
It flew
it flew out of your mind. Okay. I thought it was really funny. We found out that Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Smash Brothers and Kirby and all that, entered the Switch 2 lottery and he won. And I was like, this man's making games for Nintendo. And Nintendo can't even be like, hey, we got you a system. He signs up for the lottery to get one, but he got in.
What's up with that?
I'm sure they might offer him one, but maybe he's like, I want to do it the old-fashioned way, or they don't offer him one.
Does he have a game coming to it, though?
He's making Kirby Air Riders for Switch 2, yeah.
Oh, Sakurai.
Sakurai,
I'm
yes.
thinking
That seems weird.
Suda 51 for some reason.
Yes. I would imagine, I'm not saying every developer should get a system, but you would think if you're a developer who works with Nintendo on their characters to make franchises for them, Nintendo could be like, we got you. Don't worry. Here's a Switch 2. But maybe he doesn't trust in that. Maybe he doesn't like doing that. Whatever the reason, he signed up for the lottery and he succeeded.
That's what I was going to say. It would have been really awesome because it was already a lottery system to get to be a part of the Switch 2 experience. That like if you were able to secure a spot at the Switch 2 experience, you had the option of getting a pre-order for the system.
The bloodbath that would have caused.
Why?
People would have been irate about that. Are you kidding me?
I know, but it's still part of a lottery system, so it's like the same kind of thing.
I know, but we don't do that here.
I know.
In Japan, it would have been no problem. Here, people would have pitchforks and torches without a doubt. I agree with you.
I just think it's like a way to kind of like.
But think about that.
Away.
That would kind of be bad though, to be like, you want a chance to play the Switch 2 early and you also get to pre-order it early. People would be like, son of a bitch. Like, what the hell?
I don't know. Or if they use that same lottery to,
kill people.
Yeah. No. No.
We have a Switch 2 for you to take home.
If it was like a two-part, if it was a two, like every person that entered, you have not an option, but like you have the possibility of being selected either way. I don't know.
Many will enter, few will win. I mean, that's what we have the sign up thing here. You can sign up.
They do it.
For
I mean, I know they've done it
May 8th.
for like Broadway tickets and stuff like that. Before a show goes, to the public, you can enter a lottery so that when it does like those tickets do release, you have that like these are the first people to get it, and it's possible.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I would be for it, but I could understand people being upset about it. I could see them being like, man,
there's also people
double whammy.
Can't get their Switch 2s because people are buying them and scalping them in. Like,
yeah, I mean, that sucks, but it's not Nintendo doing that.
There's a ton. There's actually a lot of people on eBay who have spent $650 plus for other people's pre-orders.
Oh yeah, they're selling without a doubt. I meant to look that up. I did a poll.
I also saw that somebody
media.
bought a Switch version 2, but that was also last year. Thank goodness that somebody did it.
Yep.
So they didn't buy that thinking it was a Switch 2.
I asked people on social media, for those in the US and Canada who tried to pre-order, did you successfully get one? 68% of respondents got a pre-order, 32% did not. It's roughly 1,000 votes. So there you go. 2/3 of the people got it, and 1/3 unfortunately did not. Josh, it is that time of the month. Everybody else at the table, do not look at the numbers.
Hey, be quiet. I think I do.
Josh, you're going into your old routine. Your new programming. Boot it up.
No. Yep.
Josh is booting it up right now.
That is stupid. MPD is out, and Circana is in.
Circana's in. It's time. USA. Saying this once. Everybody listening?
Nope.
USA.
United States
Mhm.
of America.
Mhm.
All game sales. So not just
All
Nintendo.
games.
Everybody.
Game Boy Advance included.
Sure, it could be in there. March 2025.
USA all games March 2025.
And as we always say, remember, Nintendo does not
Remember.
report
The Alamo.
digital numbers.
all
Nintendo
physical.
reflected on this chart is only physical, but everybody else is digital and physical.
Have
Mom
any
Brain.
games been released?
Hit that music, please. And we'll start with Nicky Hill. Wow.
Madden 25.
Madden 25. Yes, number 15.
Oh my gosh.
Well, remember, new Madden's come out in August, so we're getting near.
Hmm.
Do
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy. No, I don't see it. I'm surprised.
Gardock.
Mom Brain. Scroll through 3 times. I don't see Hogwarts.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Well, congratulations, Nicky Hill. You won.
I did
With one
it.
answer, he wins it. Let me tell you the
Should I have said Atom Fall? Is that a game?
what's Atomfall?
Isn't that the?
Is Atomfall a game like ATOM?
I thought maybe I'm thinking of something else. It's like
No,
it's
you might be
Titanfall?
right.
It's like
Yeah,
the
no, you're
Fallout
right.
game that
Atomfall,
ev-
yeah. But didn't that just come out this month?
April.
I don't know. Perhaps.
Came out. No, it came out March 27th. Yeah. So at the end of the month,
wow.
but no, not anywhere in this list.
Are they still making games?
I
in
was trying to
general?
think of like a new game that came out. They just
There
came
was a
out
new
with
game
the,
that came out.
with the Oblivion remake, but that's
That's
this month.
this month. We'll start with number 20 and work our way up. EA Sports College Football 25.
Music for this?
Sports.
No. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. Xenoblade Chronicles X. E-Ring Elden R. Madden. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh,
EA Sports FC 25. Grand Theft Auto 5. Minecraft. Kingdom Come Deliverance
I almost
2.
said
of
Minecraft.
course.
Bleach, Rebirth of Souls, NBA 2K25, PGA Tour 2K25, Call of Duty, Split Fiction, debuted at number 5, WWE 2K25, debuted at number 4, Monster Hunter Wilds, MLB The Show 25, and your number 1 game, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Man,
Had a very big debut on that one.
a whole bunch of stuff
Assassin's
that I could have
Creed.
said.
A Creed. Assassins C.
Yeah, you got it.
A Creed, Assassin's C. I feel like
What
I
about
can remember that.
SSC, I would also accept.
SSC, yes.
All
I'll
right.
go with SSC. They didn't say what systems came in second or third. I would imagine Switch was third and Xbox was second, but I don't know.
Isn't that the Saint?
Saint
uh,
SSC.
yeah.
That's where he's from.
And
St.
your
Francis.
your
Saint
top
Francis
10
of Assassin.
He was an assassin.
your top 10 for Switch
He was part of
specifically,
the
starting
guild?
with number 10, Just Dance 2025, Smash Brothers, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Minecraft, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Hello Kitty Island Adventure was number 3 or number 4 on the Switch specific charts. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Mario Kart 8, and number 1, Xenoblade Chronicles X. There's your Circana numbers for the month. Moving on. So let me explain again. We've talked about this in the past since the direct, but it bears repeating. On the Switch, on the Switch 2, you can get a game card, a physical game card that has the whole game on it. So you buy Donkey Kong Bonanza or Mario Kart World, that has the full game on it. Cyberpunk 2077, full game
And
on the game card.
Just like you would with a Switch 1. You get a little cartridge and you pop it in. That's what you're talking about with game card.
That is correct. Yes, they were called game cards on Switch 1. They're sticking with that name for Switch 2.
Okay.
On Switch 1,
Mhm.
you could get games that were digital, but they had a physical box that was called Code in Box. So you get a physical box, you open it up, there's a piece of paper with a number, you put the number on the eShop and you download the game. On Switch 2, there is game key cards. That is a physical game card that you put into your Switch 2, but you will still need to download something to play the game. So the difference between code in box and game key card is code in box is yours forever. You cannot trade it in. Game key card, you could let a friend borrow that, or you could trade it in. So it's slightly better than a digital version. What's up to?
But it's not a physical thing you put in.
It is a physical cartridge you put into your Switch.
But
2.
it doesn't come with a box, a case.
It does come with a box.
So it's.
But it
On the outside, it would be exactly the
It's
same
a game
as you think.
cartridge.
It
Some
looks the
assembly
same.
required.
It looks the same, but it has a warning on it to let you know it is a game key card, front and bottom.
Well, what's
center.
the? I mean, if I buy a disc for my PlayStation 5 and pop it in, I still got to make a download anyway. So
There
make
are
a
some-
download. I
I gotta make a download.
every morning after coffee. I
There
make a
are
download.
some games that you do not have to do that with on PS5 and Xbox Series X, but yes, there are many
but
games
it's like
where
the
you
same
do.
principle.
Same principle, yes. So you let
Mm-hmm.
me borrow Alan Wake 2. I'm sure I will have to download something for it. Yes, works exactly the same.
Mm.
But it's better than what it
Mm.
was on Switch because, as I said, on Switch, no game card could not trade in. On Switch 2, game key cards are physical, come in a box, can be traded in, can be lent to a friend. So, yes, same thing as a disc on PlayStation 5
But
or
they're
Xbox Series
cheaper?
X. They are not cheaper. That requires a download.
I still don't understand.
But there's
What don't
still
you understand?
gonna-
What's the point? Like, just get a regular cartridge then.
Because manufacturers can make a game key card for cheaper than they can a game card. So if you're asking, are
But
they
you're
cheaper?
still paying the same price.
Yes, because retailers do not want companies to make them cheaper because then retailers would not make money. They'd be like, why would anybody go digital or why would anybody go physical over digital? If a digital copy of a game was cheaper, then people were always
Because
gonna
once
go
you
digital.
download that digital copy onto the game key card, it is now a game card.
No, that's not how it works. It downloads it to your Switch too.
and
You're
I
not
can-
put-
and then
you're
I
not
can give it to
writing-
you.
You're not writing data to the game key card. Think of it like a key. Like it unlocks the ability to download
sort
the
of
game.
like the AOL CDs we used to get to the internet? It was like the whole internet wasn't on that CD.
I didn't think this was confusing, and
No,
now
no,
it
no,
seems like it's so
it's not-
confusing.
I'm just trying to, because I wasn't here for a while.
It's been a while.
And I was listening when you were originally talking about it, and I was a little confused.
So
I'm a little less confused.
it seems like there'll be game cards with boxes that you can just pop in and play and loan to
Yes.
people.
Yes.
There'll be boxes with just a key inside, like a piece of paper
No,
inside, and
no.
that was only for Switch 1. So there'll be
Well, it is for Switch 2, but game key card is not that.
okay. It's not called. a
There are
key
still
card, but
digital
it's-
versions on Switch.
All right, I'm
2.
going to do it once all the way through one more
I
time.
thought I had
Regular game card, no download required. Whole game on the game card. Then there's game key card, which is also physical card, physical box.
Right.
Put it in your Switch. It unlocks
You
the ability to download the game.
Are
A download
But you
is
download it-
required.
You download it to your Switch 2,
Yes.
or whatever not external,
Yes.
but extra hard
Micro
memory,
SD Express.
memory card you have.
Yes.
Do I need that key card in my Switch to play the downloaded game that I downloaded?
That is a great question. I
You'd
believe
have to.
yes.
You'd have to.
Because
So-
otherwise I could just give it to you. You give it
Yes,
around.
exactly.
So-
Right. That was my other question.
Yes.
All right. And then is there going to be that third option that is on the Switch 1 where it's you get a box but there's no physical card
Yes.
inside,
Yes, there is. It does have
and that cannot be transferred?
that cannot be transferred. We only know of one game doing that so far, I think. Only one. It's Split Fiction. That is a code in box release. Yes.
Go figure.
And the reason why Nintendo's
That's
doing
what-
this is it seems, we don't know for sure, but from what we've seen, it appears there are two sizes of game cards for the Switch 2. A small one and a big one. We believe the big one is 64 gigs. Small one, I don't know. So you
You say
either
gigs, you mean gigabytes.
yes.
Oh my god.
So so if your game can fit on a small card, whatever that small card storage size is, we don't know. You go with that route. That would obviously be cheaper for a company to do.
256 megabytes.
No, not true.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to slap you.
don't listen to him. Listen to me. We don't know the smaller size of the game card. We know the maximum size is 64 gigs. Cyberpunk 2077 is
huge,
on
so
it's
it's-
on that game card.
So it's cheaper. It would be cheaper for them, like you're saying, to just make the
game key card.
exactly.
Or cheaper still to go code in box. But yes, so CD Projekt Red was like, we worked very hard to put it all on one game key card, and they felt they wanted their consumers to have the full game on a game card without downloading anything that was important to them. So they're going to pony up the extra cash to pay for the bigger game card and not pass the cost off to the consumer. So
That's
they're
cool of them.
doing a very nice thing. Yes. But those game key cards are going to be, or that 64 gig card is going to be more expensive for companies to use. And CD Projekt Red can afford to take that hit, but other companies will not be able to afford to take that hit. So if they, whatever their game is that they're putting out, if they need a bigger game card, they might not be able to foot that bill. And they're like, we just simply can't afford that. So they will go the game key card route that allows them to have a physical presence, and the user can still trade it in or trade or let friends borrow it.
But that kind of sucks then, because now if you're going to be buying the game key card, you're paying full price for the game key card, and now you have to have more memory cards. So you're going to have to spend more money on extra memory cards as well.
So just like any other system.
What? No, it's not like it.
Well, you're not
On
paying
any
more,
system
like-
you have right now, you pay the exact same amount of money to download a game, and you still need the storage space for it.
No, but if I'm buying a system, like I'm buying I want, there's going to be games that are only key card,
Well, they'll also be digital, but yes.
digital so you can't just buy a game card.
Like right now on Switch. Every single game is released on the eShop or gets a physical release or
Right.
a code in box.
And so I want to buy the physical release.
Okay.
Now there's going to be games where you buy the physical release, but you're still going to have to download it
Yes.
and have to have that extra memory. So now you're going to have
Yes.
to spend the extra, what is it? Over $100 for like the high capacity
I don't know what the price is.
micro
Depends
SD
on the
card.
storage
So you're
size.
still like, we're still spending extra then, because you need storage for those games that you're buying the actual game for.
So
it's not the same. Don't tell me it's the same.
well,
Don't
I mean,
you tell me.
so then why
Don't do it.
all right, then I got a question for you. Then why are you going physical?
So that I can have it and keep it.
Okay.
and get Miyamoto to sign it.
Okay, so then
Why would you ask that? Because I want the game.
okay,
That's
well
a good
then
question.
why are you buying extra storage? You don't have to. The Switch 2's got 256 gigs on it.
Well, hopefully that's going to hold
You
everything.
can
but
always archive stuff. Like there's no situation where you have to. Is it going to become cumbersome? Yes, I will certainly acknowledge that. But it's not like there's a point where you're forced to do it.
yeah. All right.
But it does. That does suck.
256,
Yes.
and if a big game is 64, like that 256 is going to disappear really fast.
Yeah, and
Well,
like,
if we get Call of Duty, you're
but
going to need.
all of
Woo.
this is like the problem you're complaining about right now is the problem everybody deals with on all the other systems too. Like you get a physical disc for whatever, but you still have to download tons of stuff. Like this happens all the time.
I never really dealt with it on the Switch. The only reason I have external or memory cards is because I was buying stuff that were digital release only games that were on the eShop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is why I don't get.
I also have a shelf full of Switch games that don't take up any other memory. Like I don't need all the extra memory stuff for
Yeah.
it. So like it's a little.
Well,
little
you know,
absurd.
you
I
say
mean,
they don't, but you're not factoring in like the
they
updates
don't take
and
up
stuff that
but
happens.
they don't take up the
Well-
full memory card that I have. They take up some. You need
Yes.
them, which then becomes a freaking pain in the butt because I've got games that when I go to play, the save
No, I
stuff is
get
on
it.
a different memory card, and
I
like
get
it's a pain in the.
I'm
neck,
not.
but-
I'm not disagreeing with you. I completely understand.
But that is a hidden fee that people need to be.
It's not
aware
a
of.
hidden fee because you're the one deciding you want to take on that fee. It's not a hidden fee.
But you're not deciding that if companies
You have
are only
200. If
gonna
there's a
do
game
this.
that's 250 bigger than 256 gigs, then yes, you will be forced to buy a micro SD Express, and I agree with you. If it's less than that, then no. Just like right now at Call of Duty, there are some versions.
You're saying it's my choice if I'm to not delete
yeah.
stuff and make space.
I'm saying it 100% sucks, and I completely understand it. But you can't say it's a hidden fee when you don't have to do it. You're deciding that you don't want to delete stuff on your Switch 2, so you're being quote unquote forced to buy a micro SD card.
I mean, this is way farther down the line, and I don't need to be looking that far in the future. But like, if they start pulling stuff or like virtual, eShop disappears or something, now you have a card that doesn't do anything because you deleted the game to make room for something else.
Well, so far we've seen no company remove the access to always re-download your game. At some point, will that happen with somebody because of something? Probably, yes. That's a bridge we'll have to cross. But as of right now, any digital purchase you have had can be downloaded in perpetuity, whether you delete it or not.
Perpetuity wing.
So
defect says TB, freaking 1 TB,
1 terabyte,
turd bite,
1 terabyte,
a turd bite. Yeah, it is turd bite because you're eating shovel.
I cannot wait to hear what he said.
Are you gonna stick with digital games for the most part?
Choice to spend the $200 on a terabyte.
I don't want to.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. Yeah, I wanted to hear how much micro SD Express cards are. Express.
Yeah, that was a bummer to hear. That was a bummer to hear that the micro SD card is different that they use. That was kind of a bummer because I got a bunch for the regular Switch.
Yeah, they had to do it for the speed of read and write on it. It's just
and so if you're getting rid of your Switch, and you have a bunch of SD cards, micro SD cards that are useless.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's one of those things that 100% sucks, and I totally understand.
So you know what you do? You buy the new,
but at the very least,
you put the old one in the box and you sell it on eBay.
At the very least, you can still use micro SD for a whole bunch of stuff.
Or you get the GameStop account and you just accrue all those $5, and then you get the card for free.
It's not like micro SD.
You can't accrue because at the next month. If you don't spend it, you lose it.
It's not like micro SD isn't usable for other things. Like you look at PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 memory cards or GameCube memory cards. You bought those and you can't do crap with them now. They work on that system and that's that. So micro SD cards, at least you could use them on laptops or desktops or cameras or whatever. But yes, that does suck that you have all that. I have ones that I'm not going to use. So I totally understand it. Yeah, micro SD, you can get a micro SD Express card, 250 gigs. So 256 gigs, so doubling the size you have on the Switch 2. That's $60. So you could do that. You could get less than that too if you wanted, but you get a terabyte for 150. It's like the card that plugs in the Xbox Series X. Like they have a proprietary memory card on that thing that only works with that thing, and that it's also $100+ and SSDs on PlayStation 5. It's all of them are. It's like the Xbox situation is the worst. The PlayStation 5 is a little better, and Switch 2 is a little better just because you can use these cards on other things, but it still sucks.
There's talk in the Discord about getting a hold of those cards. Like
they sold out like almost instantly in Japan.
Yeah, Radical
and
Defect
they're hard
says
to get now. Yeah,
they say it quote might ship by June if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But that was the other place to check. I guess ChatGPT or Google AI or whatever suggested Newegg.
Newegg is a great place to go for that stuff. Yeah,
but for Switch.
But
I don't know if they had pre-orders.
They didn't announce what they were going to do. I know it was suggested to keep an eye on them. I'm sure at some point they will have them, or maybe they did already. I don't know. But yeah, Newegg. But if you're looking for any computer stuff for memory cards like this, Newegg is a good place to go. Yeah, I've used Newegg many times in the past.
They've been around a long time.
And here's the other thing. You don't need to rush to get a micro SD Express card. The Switch 2 has 256 gigs. You buy like every first party game that's coming out at launch for Switch 2 and you're still going to have plenty of room. Split Fiction is like 71 gigs and Cyberpunk is 64 gigs. So you get both of those games and you still have half of your system storage left. You're going to be okay at launch. You're going to be okay.
Call of Duty, you're going to have to delete everything and still not have enough room.
Don't listen to Nicky Hill because we don't know when Call of Duty's coming.
That's how Call of Duty's been.
Don't listen to Nicky Hill.
Yeah, Call of PP.
Call of Duty.
So we know Call of Duty will come to this Switch 2 at some point, but with the DLSS technology and that stuff, I'm sure it will end up being a smaller footprint, but not hugely smaller. We'll all find out together.
Do we know if the bundle, the Mario Kart World bundle, will come with the game pre-installed, or will you just have to like go through the motions and download it with a code?
I don't know. I think it might be a code. It's not a physical, so it'll probably be a code. I don't think it's going to be pre-installed on there.
Do
The
we know how
guy-
big that's going to be?
The guy in line behind us
We do, yeah. I don't know off the top of my head.
wouldn't buy the bundle because he wanted a physical copy. So he was like,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
I get it. But
Yeah, he also said something that was wrong, but I'm not getting in, whatever. You do you, boo.
I have to save $30 at this point. I think is worth it.
He was talking about like the upgrade packs for games, and he said something that was wrong, and I wanted to be like, no, that's incorrect. But I was like,
But you're like, I'm off the clock.
Right.
that's pretty much what it was. I was like, A, I'm stuck next to you in the line. I don't want to get into an argument about this. B, I'm not this. I'm
B,
worried
I
about.
really don't want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Never do. What did you ask me about?
How big
Mario
is
Kart.
Mario Kart World Tour?
It's somewhere on the site. I don't remember where it is. Donkey Kong Bonanza is 10 gigs, so not big.
Oh, okay.
Mario Kart, I want to say is the biggest, and it's like I want to say it's somewhere around 24 gigs.
So we're really going to be seeing it with like
The
Grand
biggest
Theft
one we
Auto
know
or
of is
Cyberpunk, or
the
like
biggest one we
Split
know of is Split
Fiction.
Fiction at 71, and Cyberpunk is 64.
So it seems pretty good. And the fact that CD Projekt Red did what they could to get it into 64 gigs, it seems like, there's options for developers that want to like take that extra step.
Mario Kart World is 23.4 gigabytes. There you go.
Yeah, that's plenty.
The GameCube Classics on Switch 2 will be 3.5 gigs. Super Mario Party Jamboree is 7.7. Kirby and Forgotten Realm is 5.7. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is 2. So
Ooh.
again, you could get all these and have plenty of room left. You're okay. It's all right.
It's all right.
But the whole reason we started talking about this, which I didn't even get to, is nearly all third-party Switch 2 physical game releases in Japan are going to be game key card versions, because developers are opting to not, or publishers are opting to not spend extra money on the sizable Switch 2 game cards, but they still want a physical presence, and they believe that game key cards are better than code in box or just going digital only. So they will have a retail presence, but by and large, most of them will be game key card releases. So Bravely Default Flying Fairy, Daemon Ex Machina, Titanic's Scion, Kunitsugami Path of Goddess, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, Raidu Remastered, Shine Post Be Your Idol, Sonic X or Sonic Shadow Generations, Street Fighter 6, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Survival Kids, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Ease X Proud Nordics, No Sleep for Konami, Date, Split Fiction. All of those are game key cards minus Split Fiction. That is a code in box. So EA is not even bothering to do a game key card. It's just a code in box on that one.
For now, at launch, is Deltarune 3 and 4 coming out?
Mhm.
Is that just going to be 3 and 4, or
Mm-mm.
it will come with 1 and 2 as
Mhm.
well? Okay, cool.
You're paying $25 for that, and you get every chapter. There's still more chapters to come, but you'll never have to pay again.
But people have been waiting for this for a while, right?
I am one of those people. Yeah, we've been waiting for chapter 3. We didn't know 4 was going to come out at the same time, and there's still more chapters after that. But,
Very cool.
yes, you'll get all of them, no matter what comes out after that. $25 done and dusted. So that will be part of my launch
Oh,
day.
I'm
lineup,
sorry.
without a doubt.
You pay $25 and you'll get 5, 6 when
Yeah.
they eventually come out.
If there's 30 chapters, it doesn't matter. You get them all. You never pay again.
Wow, that's cool.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 have been free. He put them out no money because he's like,
No wonder I have that on my Switch. I was like, why do I have this?
Because he
game?
was like, the game's not done. I don't want to make people pay, and I don't know how long it's going to take. Now he's got 3 and 4. He's like, okay, we're deep into the project now. $25, you get everything. So,
Man, he
Um,
seems like a cool guy.
he does seem like that. And that is only digital, although I'm sure there will be a physical release once all the chapters are done. Then you'll get
Who's that?
Deltarune Complete Edition.
T-Fox.
T Fox, Toby F.
What they make?
Deltarune,
Deltarune,
Undertale.
yeah.
And I guess no word still, obviously, on UFO 50 for Switch 2 launch day.
I promise before I even post about that game, I will let you know because
Thanks.
nobody, not enough people care. I can get away with letting friends know first before I publish it. but-
It just needs to happen. It just needs to. It should come installed on every Switch.
I'm sure it will happen. Yes, just we're not hearing about it yet. So yeah, if you're going the physical route for Switch 2 games, just do yourself a favor and read the box before you buy it. Make sure you know, oh, this is game key card. Oh, this is just the regular one. So just be careful. Vex Chanu says this might stop me from buying a Switch 2 if the company wants to go completely anti-consumer. They can go without a consumer.
Oof, dang.
Well, I wish you well. I'm sorry it's not what you want it to be. I just, as I've said before, I don't understand why people are like, I understand it. Switch 2 pricing, especially for Mario Kart World, wasn't what people wanted, and then everything is bad. And then everybody latches on to everything that they think deserves any kind of complaint. And I'm not saying your complaints are invalid, but what I'm saying is I don't understand why there wasn't this big of a pushback with the original Switch where we had game key cards, where we had game code in box, because game key card sucks, but it sucks less than code in box. You can't argue that it's not that game key card isn't better because you can at least let friends borrow and you can trade it in. Code in box, you can't do any of that. So
I see a lot of, and again, this is just BS comments on the internet, so it doesn't mean anything, but like I personally see a lot of like Nintendo as a company bashing.
Yeah.
But I don't see it with like Sony or Microsoft
Yeah.
as much. Like they might be upset about something,
agree.
but they'll never be like, "Oh, Microsoft's the devil. They hate their
Yeah.
consumers." But like they'll do that with
Sony
Nintendo.
said that
like
plenty.
they're the-
about Microsoft.
They say it about Nintendo like
Oh,
they're
he's talking
so
about
evil.
fans.
I know. I'm kidding.
And I feel like if you stacked up the three big companies, like as far as from evil to less evil, like Nintendo would probably be on the less evil side.
They all have their issues. Like I said, and you agree with me on Switch 2 welcome tour, $10. That's crazy. Not because it's not worth $10, but that should be pre-installed on the system, and they're missing a huge thing. And I really don't like that. Mario Kart World being $80. I don't like it, but it's not like the end of the. It's not insane to me. Like I don't like that it's going to usher in $80 as the norm for some companies, but you know, I don't think it's insane. But also,
Nintendo
I'm
will
someone.
never charge another penny more for anything Mario Kart.
We don't know
World,
that.
right? But
Who
is
knows?
that their plan? Like I thought that was kind of
Probably be
If you read that
DLC, I'm
anywhere,
sure.
then
no. Well, I thought it was
then-
talked about that. Like
that listen, I'm going to stop this conversation right now. Nintendo has not said that anywhere. If you've read anything about that, it is made up. Nintendo has not said because this is $80, we won't charge for DLC down the line. That could happen.
They're definitely charging for DLC.
They'll probably end up doing what they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You'll wait a whole bunch of years, and eventually they'll be like, "Hey, now extra stuff." That's my guess.
Do you think people bash Nintendo because they expect more from Nintendo, right? They're like, you can be disappointed in a company that you have expectations for.
No,
I think it's because and this
They
is
hate
just me.
Nintendo.
Yeah, they think Nintendo's for kids. They want graphics and violence and blood and guts and shooting and military and
Which
men and big tittied women. Forgive my
Which
language.
You get on Switch more than you get on any other system, especially when it comes to the big titted women, without a doubt.
Well, they still have it in their brain that
think
it's
it's
like a
just a-
second-rate system that can't play the games that they want to
They
see.
have their idea in their head, and it is not based on any fact as far as the type of company Nintendo is. Does Nintendo do things that are worth pushing back on? 100%. Are there complaints to be had about pricing of things? 100%. But a lot of their ideas of what Nintendo is do not come from any truth. They formulated an opinion about Nintendo years ago, and it makes them angry today. A lot of those people do not like that Nintendo doesn't drop the price of their games. Like Nintendo will do a 30% or 33% discount during limited times, but they don't like that Nintendo games are like, it's 70 when it comes out and it's 70 10 years from now, and they don't like that. And you cannot like that, and that's fine. And plenty of people would argue that, and I would never say those people are wrong. I could tell you Nintendo does it because they don't want software to be devalued. They don't want people to be conditioned to say, I'm going to wait and
Well,
I'll
look
buy
what
it a month
happens
later.
with
And look what,
Ubisoft.
yeah, it has happened, and it is happening, and people do it. And you can say all you want about Nintendo being greedy and everything, but every game company is a business, and Nintendo is operating their business in a way where they're showing their consumer it does not make sense for you to wait for this because we are not going to discount it. That is not going to happen. And they've trained consumers to think that way because that's the way they operate. And you can say that's evil and you can say that's anti-consumer. And I won't argue against you because that's your opinion. Whatever opinion you have on that is valid. But Nintendo doesn't want consumers to devalue their software. And we can actively see that happening in the industry at an accelerated pace. Like that certainly has happened and will continue to happen. So you can be angry that Nintendo takes such a hardcore stance on that, but you can also, as at least if you look into the situation, you can see why they're doing it. Now you could see why and still disagree with it, and that's fine. But the place of ignorance that people come from.
Well, there's also the double standard. Like if Nintendo released a brand new system with no new games and only like remasters of the same games that have been out and everything, people would be all over them. But like Sony kind of did that, right? And
that's the thing that pissed me off about what's the Sony guy? I don't remember his name. He said he gave the Switch 2 reveal 6 out of 10, and then when they announced whatever the From Software game, he bumped his number up to a 7 out of 10. But he was like, I was just disappointed to see that there were re-releases and remasters, and I was like, how do you with a straight face say this? I know
Yeah,
you're not
right?
with Sony anymore, but like, how do you say this? Like, that's insane. How can you
like
say
the system, right? Like the system had been out for a while and they still didn't have new like
I don't get how he says it at
not
all. I don't get how
proprietary
you say that
content,
and
but,
be like, there's no cognitive dissonance with
He's
what
the
I'm
king.
saying. And the best part is he also went for the Switch 2 lottery and got in. So he's like,
what a jerk.
he says he's a hardcore Nintendo fan and he loves Nintendo. That's fine. That's great and everything. But to be like, why are there remakes and remasters at the launches? How are you saying it? You know what? I agree with him because I don't like that stuff. But you can't say that about
Hell
this
yeah.
system when you worked at Sony. And I'm not saying it's bad or wrong. I'm just saying I don't like it that that's happening at system launches. But how do you say that?
It's crazy.
How do you say that?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the Coke CEO giving Pepsi a 6 out of 10. And then when Crystal Pepsi came out, he's like, okay, 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it's like.
Exactly what it's like. So yeah, just be careful when you're buying your Switch 2 physical games. No, read the box to see what you're getting into before you pick them up. We don't need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
About
we
that.
talk about it every week, or at least I've heard you talk about it the last 3 weeks. Yeah, it'd be nice if the prices were lower, obviously, but, you know, it's not the reality, and you could vote with your wallet, and that's great if you have the willpower to do that. And, you know, but for me, the value is there. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
That's how you decide. Yeah, if the value's there for you or
And
not.
I love the experience. Like the experiences that I get from their games is unlike any other developers' games. And you know, I might like other games and other developers, but they're not innovating the way Nintendo always innovates. And for me, that's where the value is. And I have a feeling I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of my Switch 2.
When you get to the echo chambers online, it's a whole bunch of people who never had any intention of buying a Nintendo system anyway, complaining about why they won't buy a Nintendo system. Or it's also people who are saying that online and then they line up. Like, look at the Switch 2 pre-orders. It's sold out everywhere. And they had way more stock than other systems before. You can have it where people are complaining and they're not going to support it and sellouts day one. Like, some people are lying in there about what they're doing. We need more time for the system to be out to see how it sells down the line. But that the reaction from that is going to be your average consumer, not the nerd who's online being like, I know everything about this system before it comes out, and I don't like this, that, or the other thing. It's going to be from the consumer who's like, yeah, I could get this because my whole family will play it and the price is justified. Or I have a family of 4 and I can't justify spending this much money on this. We'll see how that bores out as time goes
I think
on.
it's going to come down to the software that they put out for the Switch 2.
Well, I heard they're working on a Mario game, and they said stay tuned. So there's a spoiler for you.
Because yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are like, I have the Switch and it doesn't do much different. You know, like I don't want to use it as a mouse controller, so I'm just going to stick with the Switch. But like, once they put out a big name game that's only available on the Switch
I mean,
2.
yeah, you can't get any more big than Mario Kart. That's literally the best-selling game on the Switch. So they're
Right.
starting right off the bat with their bread and butter. So, but yes, there are people who will hold out for a Mario or hold out for a Zelda. So yeah, they'll trickle in. But so far it seems so good. We don't need to talk more about Switch 2 pre-orders. We talked about how all the websites had
I
issues.
think the Switch 2 is going to fail because they haven't announced a Metroid Dread 2 yet.
You know, I haven't posted about
Could
it, but
be.
I did hear a rumor that there is a Dread 2 in the works
Man,
from
that
a
would be awesome.
somewhat notable
They're going to put it
source.
on hold for probably like 15, 20 years. Right?
Maybe. And then they'll sneak
part of
in
the
a
franchise.
code name into Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and people will be like, look, they talked about Dread 2 in here. And let's not do that again.
Remember me?
Oh, we're not doing that. We will do this. I will kill him. GameStop was accused of forcing custom Switch 2 bundles on shoppers. So you would go to a
Old
brick and mortar
news.
brick and mortar GameStop to do your pre-order, and GameStop would be like, "Oh, we don't have the Switch 2 standalone, but if you get Switch 2 standalone and this third-party controller and these screen protectors, then we could do a bundle for you." This was coming from Alea, who went to a GameStop in Queens, New York, and they said this GameStop was pushing custom Switch 2 bundles to people, blocking their ability to just get the standalone system. They hit a point where they were like, "No, can't do that. But if you do this GameStop bundle, then you're in, baby." And as Nicky Hill said, it's old news because we've seen GameStop do this before with the Wii and the Switch. They forced bundles on
was
both
full-
systems.
Like an entire holiday season where
Yeah.
you could not get a
It was like
Wii.
get Rabbids and Just Dance and a Switch controller and a carrying case for $600, and that was the only way you could get them. You couldn't get standalone versions. So we've seen them do this in the past. Well,
Rats.
I put the story up, and I reached out to GameStop to be like, "Hey, GameStop, what's going on here?" And GameStop got back in touch with me. GameStop said, quote, "This is not GameStop policy. Overwhelmingly, customers had a positive experience," end quote. They also sent me 4 links
Check
to
out
social
these
media
tweets.
posts about people having positive experiences. So you can read those if you'd like. But GameStop says that is not policy. Nicky Hill and I both agree that in the past, maybe it wasn't policy, but they certainly did it. So GameStop's not saying that they don't do that. They're saying that their policy is not to force that on people. So technically, I guess, yes, that's not a policy.
They
But
also
that's
don't
the
have,
only
like,
way you
policy
can
against
get
their
it.
employees behaving in that way.
So
obviously.
yeah, it depends on how you look at their statement. But I will say this to defend GameStop a little bit. At least when it came to brick and mortar pre-orders, it seemed like they had their shovel together. Seems like everybody that went to brick and mortar had a pretty decent experience. Online, they had the same issues
Except
everybody
for
else
the
had.
employees where it was one against many.
Yes. How do you have a
of
system
release like that.
pre-order and you're like,
You
yes,
just don't-
one employee is going to
You
do
just
this?
they don't have enough employees.
Oh,
Alright.
GameStop sent you a tweet to post right here. At GameStop, I loved my experience with the pre-order. That's James says that he loved
That's right.
it.
Here's another one from Same Gop. I trust these people. So yeah, hopefully that didn't happen with you and you got your pre-order, blah, blah, blah. But that's the statement from GameStop. So take it as you will. 10 Donan says, "I'm not going to cheer on the death of retail, but come on. I think people lost sight of why GameStop was resented in the first place since the Wall Street Bets incident. Support your local indie game shop if you've got one, even if they don't have any Switch 2 units for pre-order." I mean, yeah, support local shops all the time. That's a great idea. But if you can and if it's possible. So, so there you go. That's that. I will say something that's really funny. I don't know why, but gamers have decided to send all their vitriol to Target. Target Switch 2 pre-order pages, when you go to the reviews for the Switch 2, it's like a 2.5 out of 5 because people are review bombing the listings because Target screwed up their pre-orders. And if you go read all the comments, it's like, "Target screwed up. Target cancel my pre-order. Target, get your crap together." I don't know why Target in particular is getting all this
They're
hate,
quite a
but they're
target.
being review bombed. I guess they're the Target.
Because they reverse their DEI practices. So it's
Oh,
like, hey, why do
maybe.
we have to be nice to you if you're not going to be
Dogpile.
nice to other people?
Also, we have another top story on an updated top story. where one analyst, Toyo Securities analyst Hideki Yasuda, expected launch sales for Switch 2 in Japan to be somewhere around 800,000 to 1 million units. And they said that could pave the way for 5 million units sold in the first week globally. Well, the Japan Times talked to Pelham Smithers of Pelham Smithers Associates,
What a great name.
an
Pelham?
equity research firm. Pelham,
Pelham. I hardly know.
Pelham, Pelham.
Pelham Smithers.
They talked to Pelham Smithers
Stupid,
himself.
sexy Pelham.
He was interviewed once the
Is that sound
pre-orders.
Yoshi makes?
Pelham. They talked to him to get insight after the pre-orders launched and all that, and to be like, hey, what do you think's going on here? He says, as Japan counts for a third of global Switch installation base, it implies that 6.6 million pre-orders for Switch 2 happened globally. So he's thinking things are going to be even bigger. Now, we know the biggest launches for consoles were the PS4 and PS5, which both did roughly 4.5 million units sold in the first 2 months. The figures we're getting now from analyst estimates and stuff like that, and Nintendo said 2.2 million people signed up. They're saying first week sales for Switch 2 could be anywhere from 6 to 8 million. So Switch 2 could secure the biggest, best console launch ever in the history of gaming, with 6 million, even if it's at the lowest end of the spectrum. Doing that in 1 week, what the PlayStation 4 or 5 did in 2 months. So
That's sales outside of
worldwide.
pre-orders,
Worldwide. No, it's
including the pre-orders.
yeah.
Crazy.
6 million. This guy, somebody said 5 million, somebody said 6.6 million. Who knows?
But how many pre-orders do we know? How many pre-orders were available?
All we know for sure is that Nintendo themselves got 2.2 million people to sign up for their pre-orders, and they said they cannot fulfill that. That's all we know for sure.
Okay.
Bloomberg has said they believe 1.1 to 1.2 million units were shipped to the United States. They're already here.
Holy
And
crap.
that's,
We're going to find out.
that's all we know. So
Where?
at a dock somewhere, at a shipping
Where,
yard.
Rachel? Where?
Show me to
Show
me.
me to me, Rachel.
So
Rachel,
we'll see.
please.
Zeldude says, drop the price, turned
You know-
out to be baseless, or it was missing the end of the chant, but I'll still buy it anyway. Seems like that right now, my friend.
We got to get jobs at Amazon so that we can steal a system
Amazon's
and then
not selling
quit.
them.
Just like, oh well, we got to get a job with
Name any retailer.
Walmart or Target.
a
But
woman.
I won't work with
Mhm.
them. But just so we could right that one person who did that for
That's
Legend
right.
of Zelda.
Yep.
They like got the job
And it worked out fine, and nothing bad happened.
and they
Is he
stole
dead?
the system.
He's dead now.
They stole the game and then quit.
Charles Martinet caught up with them.
Yeah. If only he was listening.
Sooner or later.
If only he was listening. All right, Mom Brain, hit me with that jingle. It's time.
Oh, no.
Thank you. North America this week's releases. What do we got? On the old boring Switch, am I right? Thunderfolk, which is supposed to be a really cool RPG experience, kind of like tabletop RPG experience.
AC/DC song.
And you can all play together at the same time as a like tabletop experience, but on your TV, and you play
T-top.
with your cell phones. So it seems like it's a really awesome game. I really do want to try that.
It's an
Not-
expensive game. $1,000 phone, $500 Switch.
It's true.
The game's not
Oh, you
free.
could go get a burner phone at Walmart. They're like what, $60?
Maybe I will.
Ninth Dawn remake, Adventures in Time and Space. Aha! Spot the Change brain teaser. Arcade Archives Tatake Big Fighter. Atama. Bee Flowers Royal Garden. Blazing Trail Bosorka. Brain Challenge Spot the Real One. Brain teaser Spin and Build Castle. Cappy's Quest. Cats visiting historical times.
Wow.
Cave of Illusions. That's what I call my anus. Clash of Rivals. Cooking Companions. Deep, Deep, Deep Nightmare.
That's what I call Uranus.
Oh! Dokapon. Sword of Fury.
That's what I call your penis.
Dokapon?
The Sword of Fury.
Sword of Fury. Dungeon Slide.
That's what I call Uranus.
Oh! Let's see how many times this makes sense. Escape Game Room 03. Gnomes and Knights. Jalacol Famicom version. Magic John and Totally Rad. Cow the Kangaroo and Urban Trial Playground Bundle. Love Live, Nijigasi High School Idol Club, Tokameki Roadmap to Future. Masters Bowling, Monster Popper.
I was thinking about it, but
Okay. No takers. MotoGP 25, Munchie Mammals, Ogu and the Secret Forest, Out of Moves,
the Secret Forest is what I call your
Yes.
anus.
Plot of the Druid, Sakura Bunny Girls, Seatso Lullaby, Silent Mist, Six Stargate Stargazer. My voice is going. Splatter Blocks.
That's what your anus does.
There we go. Spot the Difference Detective. Spot the Difference with
Like a wombat.
Masterpieces.
Wombats poop cubes.
Sprint for Survival, Spy Guy Jigsaw Fun, Sunseed Island, Super Technos World, River City,
I don't know. I got nothing.
River City and Technos Arcade Classics, The Fairy Secret, The 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. That's done by the Danganronpa guy.
The next one is
Yeah.
definitely your anus.
The next game's name is The Safe Place.
That's what we all call your anus.
Where's That Person? Witching Stone, and finally Dreamy Syrup.
That's what I call something.
There you go. First comment comes from Tater Tot. Sorry, Armstead, but these releases are too savory. We need a sweet Nicky Hill injection.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with
Let's
Nicky.
find out what Nicky's anus is called.
Release it.
Well, thank you, Josh. It's been a while. I forgot how to read. So, Europe, you got games coming out the week of April 24th, the year of our Lord 2025. We got there.
Finally, after a
down
month.
to the end of the month, and let's see what these games are. The 100 Line, Last Defense Academy.
100 lime.
Line. Sorry, George.
It's okay. Ninth Dawn remake. Aha! Spot the change brain teaser. Airport Manager Simulator 2025. This is what I call my anus, Atama.
What?
Trying to beat you guys.
Huh?
to it.
What?
Atama. That's what I call my. Oh, sorry. B Flowers Royal Garden. Brain Challenge, Spot the Real One. Brain Teaser, Spin and Build Castle. Cats Visiting Historical Times. Cave of Illusions.
The game that started it all.
That's right.
Clash of Rivals. Deep, Deep, Deep Nightmare. Dragon's Legacy Monsters Lair. Dreamy Syrup. Escape Game Room 303. ROOM R00M03.
weird?
Because it's spelled R00M03. Hexus. Hitback.
Doesn't make it any less confusing when you do that. That's
Well,
all I'm-
Just trying to help people.
Isn't that guy
Hitback?
in the middle or in the Trump's cabinet now? Pete
Hexus.
Hexus.
That's how he pronounces his name when he's drunk. Hexus.
Which is all the time.
Hitback. Jalico Famicom version, Magic John, and Totally Rad.
Magic John is such a good name.
That's different from Magic
Great
Johnson.
name for a cat.
That's the sequel to Dear John.
This is my cat, Magic John.
Oh, that's good.
That is a good name.
Jumping Boy. Korean Drone Flying Tour Gomdanzan. Ted Danson.
What are you doing tonight?
Gomdanzan.
There you go. Got
So Love Live, you said this
it.
is?
Yeah,
Nijigasaki
close enough.
High School.
Oh my
Those
god!
are
look at
normal
how
words.
long
Idol
this
Club.
title is.
Tokimeki Roadmap to Future.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still listening?
Good
oh
luck.
dear. Lucy and the Talking Cat, The Secret Cat Kingdom. Now that's a title. All the words
The Secret
seem
Cat
to make
Kingdom.
sense.
That's a good butthole name.
Yeah.
Not in my house. Lunar Remastered Collection. Maliki Poison of the Past. Masters
I
Bowling.
meant to look up that bowling game.
Medical Lab Science. Anime Doctor Live in a Public Hospital. Or Anime Doctor Live in a Public Hospital. I don't know. Monster Popper. Munchie Mammals. Only Up. Orphans. Out of Moves.
Is Only Up the sequel to Up and Down from the Commodore 64?
It is now.
Is that a game? Is that for real?
It is a real game. Up and Down's a real game. I don't know how Only Up would be a good sequel because it's like takes the only other thing you can do out of
You
it.
had the first game. Now here's half of the first game.
Yeah, it moves. Pool with me. Sea Market Cloth Store Simulator. Now that's something I didn't really. That's got a
Yep.
market, huh? People, I want to know everyone who's buying that.
They exist in real life, so I guess people would want to play a game about
Cloth store, I guess so. Or like a Joann's Fabrics.
it. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Fabric Cadabrix.
But it's Joseph Mann in the game, just to avoid any issues.
Right.
But
Spot the difference with masterpieces. Sunderfolk. Super Technos.
Yeah.
World. River City and Technos arcade classics. Like River City.
Ransom.
Yeah. The classics.
Orphan. Yeah.
The arcade classics even. Thrill Penguin. And Where's That Person?
Nicky, is there a comment?
There is a comment. It's Nico Darunia. They say, welcome back, Nicky, with fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It worked. It paid off.
Boy, oh boy.
There you
That
go.
is, it's a week of games.
Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
I think I did play a little Hello Kitty, but between being sick and having to take a really big exam, I've been
Goodbye,
not
kitty.
gaming. Yeah.
Mm,
So
so sorry. Nicky Hill?
Goodbye, doggy.
buy horses.
I think
Nice.
I think I played a little bit more Donkey Kong, whatever that is, 1994. And probably a little bit of Solitaire, but not a whole lot other than that.
Okay.
Do
Uku. I could talk about a bunch of little things that I tried to play because it has been 3 weeks, but I quickly got back into a little game called Cyberpunk 2077. I'd never beaten it. I did play it like a year or two ago. Like I played quite a bit of it just because I wanted to see how all the updates were and everything. But I restarted a game. I got the DLC, Phantom Liberty. And in the past 3 weeks, I freaking crushed it. 99 hours as of today, and I beat it this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Did you finish the game?
I've very funny, very funny. I also finished the game. I don't want to keep everyone long since we've talked forever about this game. I just want to say I love it. It's I really wish they waited until it was perfect to like release it because that kind of soured it a bit for me back in the day. But as of right now, it's excellent. I mean, the design of the city itself is just so mesmerizing. It's freaking awesome. Had a ball playing it. The DLC I think is really, really great. Idris Elba is excellent in it, and I was interested to see how they would do the DLC because there's a whole section of the city that they open up that you can't get to with the regular game. And just hearing that sounds silly because it's like, how do I not get to this whole part of this city? But it's explained really great. The part of the city is really engaging. I like the design of it. It's kind of it's like a dump, which kind of stinks.
All right. I'm in.
But like the design of this dump is incredible. Like they really
Their dump design
it
is exceptional.
really is amazing. Like and actually we talked a little bit earlier before the podcast about Annie Austin's latest video.
Mhm.
Annie Austin, your latest video is great. It's the one with Starfield and like the pipes and where the pipes go.
Tracing
I was-
Starfield's pipes.
I was fascinated during this video, and I realized that like I have similar thoughts. I don't research or do anything deeper that Annie Austin does, but I have the same thoughts because as I was playing this DLC for Phantom Liberty, I was like, who designed this? Like, it's incredible that they even designed it. And like, obviously you beat the game and you see 8 million people working on it. So, you know, hats off to them. You wonder how they can make a coherent game, like so many hands, cooks in the kitchen. And it's such an amazing experience, like top to bottom, really, really great. Now there are a lot of open world things that you just aren't gonna get perfectly. Like there's something like you could do a lot of missions and build up a friendship with somebody, and then like later in the game you'll ask them something and they'll be like really mean to you, and it's like, this doesn't make sense with
Mhm.
what we've been going through. So there are things like that. And now I know you don't like Johnny Silverhand. I have to say, I freaking love Johnny Silverhand and
it's-
Keanu Reeves. I love it. He's terrible as a character. He's terrible as an actor in this role,
Mhm.
but for some reason it's perfect. It couldn't be more perfect. It's literally perfect. And everything he says is hilarious. It's over the top, like cynical jerk stuff, but like he's brilliant at it. It's perfect. But I have to say, the relationship between the main character that you play and Johnny Silverhand was one of my biggest kind of love-hate things with the game, because there's a huge, like, the whole game he's a jerk to you, and then you get to a point where you can like earn his respect and his friendship, and then after you do that, he'll be a jerk to you still, and it's like, come on, man, like, can you be nice at some point
Yeah.
to make it seem like we've been having a relationship for the past 85 hours I've been
Yeah.
playing this game? So there's things like that bug me. Not enough to like spoil the experience. The experience as a whole for me is really wonderful. The fighting system and how many different ways you can augment yourself, and the way they integrate those styles into every mission. There's just so many ways to do every mission. All that kind of stuff is really, really great. I have to say, my other niggle with it would have to be like the fact that it's cyberpunk, so it's got to be depressing. You know what I mean? Like you get to an end and you can choose one of like 5 endings to go into, and from what I've read, there's not really a good one. Like, and here's the thing, like, yes, I guess that makes it more realistic. You can't have so many characters in the game and pick an ending that has a good ending for every
Yeah.
single person. There's no way to do it. So after all was said and done, I was still satisfied with my ending, but it wasn't perfect, and there were a few not open-ended, like the things were closed, but they just didn't shake out the way I thought they should have, being how I played the game. Now that kind of feeds into my Phantom Liberty review. The end mission of Phantom Liberty. It's like they took the cyberpunk philosophy of it's got to be depressing and turned it up to a million. Like, it's to the point where you get one of 2 endings, as far as I know, and like whichever one you pick isn't good. Like, it's not even like they're both good, but then there's some bad. It's
Yeah.
kind of like they're both just bad, and you'd feel depressed, and like they want you to feel that way, but it's tough putting 20 hours into a DLC and then getting to the end, and it's like, no matter what you pick, it's not great.
Yeah.
No matter what you did, no matter how good you tried to be, it's not gonna come out the way you want it to. Now, that it bothers me a little bit because I like happy endings, but I totally get it in the universe. And I have to say, when we first got the game and I played like a bunch of it back then, yeah, like the bugs sucked and everything like that, but I never once thought like, oh, this could be the future. Like I was like, this is so wacky. There's no way to
Yeah.
get this crazy. Dude, the history of the cyberpunk universe is like exactly what we're living through like right now. Like corporations taking over the government and creating, like, billionaires taking over parts of the government unelected and creating a world where the divide between the rich and the poor is bigger than you've ever seen it. And like, I was playing this game and I was like, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I was like, this isn't that far-fetched
Yeah.
with what we're seeing every single day. But regardless, thanks for listening to that spiel. Overall, I loved it. I think CD Projekt Red did an incredible job. I give my hat off to all those developers over there. I feel really bad that they had to rush themselves for the big wigs that wanted the game to come out before it was ready, because now it is great. They fixed so many of the things. Now, I'm not going to say in my 90-hour playthrough there weren't a couple of little bugs here and there, but overall, incredible job. Great job, CD Projekt Red. Keep it up. Witcher 3 to this, I thought incredible. The fact that they can do two like similar types of games as far as like story, open world, but have it be totally different. One's first person, one's not. Like it goes even beyond that. The amount of work that must have gone into this is ridiculous. And I sadly have to disagree with the guy at GameStop that gave you a hard time. Because I got so into the game, I was like, well, I'm watching Edge Runners now, baby. Because I tried to watch it when it first came out, and I got like through the first episode, and I was like, I hate this. So I restarted at Edge Runners, and I watched the first episode, and I was like, I hate this. So I'm not watching any more of that. But that's neither here nor there. Keanu Reeves, we love you. Idris Elba, we love you.
Well, royal we on the Keanu Reeves there.
Well, okay, I love you. And I don't know what else to say. I think I said pretty much everything I wanted to say about the game.
Did they? So they completely made good on all the promises, or there's still some promises that they just kind of had to scrap because
I'd have to look back at whatever the promises were, but for me, it was just the world. When it came out, it was so buggy, and the world didn't feel like it was interacting with itself. Like the cop system, the police, the crime system was all messed up, and like people on the street would do weird stuff, and it didn't feel real. They fixed all that kind of stuff. It's like it runs smooth as butter now, and I really didn't come across any problems. There were a couple, like I said, a couple of little game crashes here and there, but over 90 hours, nothing to like be upset about.
And the other question I had was, did you pick up right where you left off? I don't know if you said this, or did you have to kind of restart it?
I started over again. I don't know. I didn't really.
I mean, if you started over, how many hours did you play? The last 20 or something?
I played last year for like 20 hours or something, and I kind of fell out of it.
So like, but because of all the glitches and all the times that it froze, like, did you actually have to like only play it like half that amount of time to get as far as you were before?
No, the first time I played when there were glitches, like when the game first came out, I played a heck of a lot of it with the glitches. I made it all the way to the last mission and didn't do the last mission. Like the point of no return thing that games have. Like I made it to that. So that was like probably 60 hours. And then I played it last year for about 20 hours, and it went well, but it just wasn't my first playthrough. Like I had changed things up. I was being a female Corpo V instead of a male street kid, which is what I usually, what I wanted to be kind of. And then, I also tried to make him look like, Steve Harvey, like I've been doing with all my characters, and that kind of didn't turn out the way. You can't like make them heavy for some reason, so that was kind of a downer. So I had to, I had like a Steve Harvey base going through the game, and you can't change like the base stuff, but you can change like, your piercings and your tattoos and your hair. So like I went through and made my Steve Harvey like this crazy hippie, and then things got a little bit better for me. But yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of the story, a lot of the story is like really, really, really well done. It's all very interesting stuff. At no point did I get emotional enough to shed a tear. Now that's something that I do easily these days. And so it was great, but it didn't like nail it for me as far as like the dialogue and the story and like the emotional hit. But boy, was it fun to play. And again, that open world, that city is crazy. I don't want to compare it at all, but like as a Blade Runner fan, as like a futurist fan, as like just a crazy, I don't know. It was great. So thank you again for letting me blather on about all this crap. I finally finished it, closed the book on it, and now we can wait for the Switch 2. So thank you. Oh, and of course I played Fortnite. I played Animal Crossing. It was Phoebe's birthday this week. And what did I give her? I gave her like some sort of like German milkmaid dress or something. That sounds terrible, but wasn't called that. I don't know what it was called. But anyways, she liked it. And yeah, thanks for listening. RMC, what's on your list of playing
Hello, Blake. Just popped into the Discord.
Thank you for asking. Great to hear about Cyberpunk because people can play it on Switch 2 when it comes out. So Drew gives it his thumbs up. At least the game itself. Hopefully, the Switch 2 port is up to snuff. It sounds like CD Projekt Red is making that the case. But there you go. What did I play? Nothing. Too busy. Too much going on. All I played was some Fortnite, and that's it. So I got nothing else to report.
Oh my gosh, I played Blueprints.
I thought you just didn't want to talk about it.
I played a little bit of Blueprints, and really, really enjoyed it. Rami was nice enough to sit with me while I played.
Is it scary?
No, mysterious, and fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think if it was on Switch, I would have played a whole lot more. But because it's not, and I have to
Boy, going downstairs, is that much of a problem?
No, I just don't like touching your systems because I'm afraid I'm gonna
I told you.
I know, it's like a me thing. It's not.
And when are you going to do it when I'm
until
not
something
here?
happens,
Yeah,
and then he's
exactly.
like, "Oh, what did you do?"
And now after I found out there was
Yeah.
that creature in the basement, I don't think I.
He's taken care of.
Oh,
Been vanquished.
great.
He's sitting right next to you now.
Oh,
Got him.
So yeah, that's it.
What have you been playing?
We're gonna go. I said nothing.
Oh,
Fortnite.
right.
That's it. Let's go to questions. Send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
It can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. PT says, what musician would you like to hear compose a video game soundtrack? And what video game composer would you like to see release an album of their own music?
Ooh,
What musician would you like to hear compose a video game soundtrack?
Johnny Greenwood.
He's done wonders for movies, soundtracks, and TV show stuff. So yeah,
That'd be cool.
What's going on? Who's doing the soundtrack to Naughty Dog's new game? Is it Trent Reznor and
Oh
something?
yeah, that's right.
Atticus Finch or so Atticus Ross, whatever his name is. Atticus, what's his name?
But they're making a video game music, and they make regular music, so I guess we can't really say them, right?
No,
Well, it
that's
says,
what it
what
is.
musician would you like to hear compose a video game soundtrack?
Oh, so well, they're gonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, then your dream came true.
I mean, I don't really have. I can't think of anybody. I don't like enough musicians, and I don't want to hear them do video game music.
You don't want to hear. You don't want Morrissey to do the soundtrack to the new Zelda game that's gonna come out.
Definitely do not want that. No.
Punctured Korok. Get a heart piece over there.
Yeah, I just
An empty bottle.
it's
and
not
a
like I
great
would be no,
family.
don't do this, whatever it is. But I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm on this charming horse.
And what video game
Epona.
composer would you like to see release an album of their own music? Well, that's easy for me. I'd like Elena Rain, but she's kind of done that already. So that's my pick there, without a doubt.
I want more from the person who did the Bianca Neville soundtrack back in the day.
Whatever his name is, yeah.
Propaganda.
I don't know what else he's
Christian
done
Bale?
since then. Christian Bale, that's it. Yeah, that's his name. Any answers for either side of this question, anybody?
I just don't know music no more,
Yeah, I don't know.
except for the loops on TikTok and social.
I mean, I
media
know
stuff.
plenty of music, yeah, but there's nothing where I'm like, I'd like to hear what they would do for a game soundtrack.
You know, now that it's all gone down, I think I'd like Katy Perry to do a soundtrack to a game that takes place in space. You know, she can really relate to that.
Okay, well, we'll put that out there and see if we can make it happen. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the Patreon
For $1.
The Knock on Wood did, and their question is, does the crew have any favorite sauces? Specific hot sauces, favorite condiments from a fast food
when was
chain,
this
anything like that?
question sent?
A couple months ago.
Okay. I
Why?
don't know if they watched Mickey. What is it? Mickey
17?
17 or not?
Spoiler alert, movies about sauces.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But anyway, their question, do you have an answer?
Sauce.
Favorite sauce?
A local Thai place has a peanut sauce that they put with their tofu tod, and it is. I
don't
would.
know.
I
Todd.
have like licked the container. It's that
Ooh,
good.
wow.
It's so good.
I'm
I also
a-
like any kind of hot sauce, but not too hot. I like
got
a vinegary
Cholula
hot
today?
sauce. Yeah.
I mean, I like regular honey mustard kind of does it for me, but it's got to be Pitzman's mustard.
Oh boy,
I'm
here we
kidding,
go.
but Mom Brain made me think too. When I get dumplings,
Pretty fancy there, Red
the
Susan.
soy sauce that comes with dumplings is different than like other soy sauce.
Usually has like some
like little like
spring onions chopped up in it
something,
and
but it's
whatnot.
like something more than just that too, and it's just so good.
Joe Shabadoo says a really good cilantro ranch is killer in lieu of salsa. I'm one of those people who says cilantro tastes exactly like soap, so that would not be for me. But
Super taster.
you know what sauce I love? Pizza Hut's breadstick marinara. Oh my god, and we have some.
Mhm. I haven't touched it.
Oh my god, yeah, I know we got to eat
It never goes bad.
Never. No, I'm not bad enough that I wouldn't eat
It has
it.
to be
You don't
food to
dunk-
go bad.
Is it the only thing you dunk in marinara? You don't do like
Might
mozzarella
be.
sticks when you get a chance, do you? Do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Would you if it was
Purists.
Pizza Hut marinara?
A mozzarella stick. I love that sauce so much. I might. Every other sauce I have just doesn't.
Can we do?
Marinara sauce just doesn't match up.
Can we do
Can
a
we do it? Hot ones.
a hot ones podcast? Not like a podcast about hot ones, but like when we do a webisode of Go Nintendo where we also taste the hot sauces.
You set it up. You set it up. I'll do it.
I mean, we'll just bring it here, right, and do it here. I don't know. What do I have to set up?
Bring it here and do it here. What do you mean? You're gonna have to figure out what questions you're gonna ask, what the order of
No,
the
no, no.
sauces.
Like just in like while we're doing a regular
no,
podcast.
no, that I'm turning down.
Oh.
That'd be too. I'm the one that's talking all the time.
Well, then you
You
don't
guys
do
would
it
sit
then.
there and be like, "Oh, it's hot," and then you wouldn't have to do anything. You just survive the hotness. I'm not doing that. Oh, I don't know. Depends on how hot the sauce
Yo,
is.
did you watch the one with Will Forte?
No.
He was just like hitting him, and he was just like, "Ooh, that's tasty."
That was interesting to watch because he didn't
There was
Not
one.
a single.
I don't know if it was like the bomb or whatever. He tasted and he goes, "Oh, that's pretty good." And he like looks directly at Sean, or what is that his name? Sean.
Sean's losing his
Evans.
touch. Have you guys noticed
And,
that? Like,
but like
I
Will
don't
Forte
really watch
says it, and then he
religiously.
does like a little like eyebrow, but like pop or whatever, and it's like, is he really dying on the inside, or
I
is he
don't-
really just enjoying
was-
this?
Losing his
Fine.
touch. How?
just he can't see. He seems to not be able to take the heat anymore.
Oh.
Like
It's probably burned off
Yeah.
several layers.
I don't know how you think he'd get better.
He's burned away the protection. Yeah, now he's
Because-
just got raw throat.
because he always, if you've ever watched it, he'll do whatever the person does. And Will was like putting like extra on, be eating the whole thing and and it got to a point where like Sean had to like drink milk before Will. Like he doesn't do
Wow.
any of that kind of stuff. And Will like didn't
He
sweat
was-
at all. He
he was
wasn't
not
hot. He
phased.
wasn't red. He didn't act different at all.
Right.
It was probably one of the most impressive hot ones I've seen as far from that angle of like
Yeah.
not being affected by the heat.
No, 100%. That's what I think is just amazing to see. I mean, Will Forte has been a favorite of mine, and that just, he just actually jumped up. He's untouchable now.
Blake, I'm with you. Sriracha would be my sauce. I like the hoi fung. I mean, it's a little played out now, but I think it's called hoi fung with the little rooster on it. That's the one I like. And then I do like Cholula myself, but I like the green Cholula. Have you ever had that one?
I don't know that I have.
It's
I'll
a
have to
it's a
look
little
for it.
tangier.
I've seen it. I haven't.
And
had it.
I
Isn't
like
the
a
green-
vinegary, tangy hot sauce as opposed to like
I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
The greens, that's usually the hotter of them, right?
It's not. It doesn't seem hot to me,
It
but
never-
I got a pretty good.
I feel like
Hot
anytime I
meter.
go to a place and there's like the reddish one and the green, and I'm like, green's got to be the mild, right? Oh.
What dipping sauce do we have today, Mom? Bring with those things we got.
it was like a pecan maple syrup.
Ooh.
We went
Oh.
to Cracker Barrel
Oh,
and we got what are they called?
Like biscuit beignets.
Biscuit
It was
beignets.
just like deep fried biscuit
Yeah.
dipped in sugar. It was delicious.
Oh my god, they were so good. They were really, really good. Haven't been to Cracker Barrel in a long time. Find out they're very DEI gay friendly and all that. And I was like, that's a real shocker. So we went to go support them, and man, those beignets were amazing. Oh my god, they were so good. All right, that's that. Let's do music. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
I will.
Put music in the title. How about your local mom brain?
Help.
Can't believe it's actually time for music.
You want to hear it?
You know what? Let's not do music this week.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm all set up. Ready to go.
Okay. This first song comes from Fart Blossom.
Bad Dudes?
No.
Well, all I know by the sound is that it's NES and it's licensed.
Yeah.
That bass is. I'm gonna guess it's the same people who did Bart versus the Space Mutants, but I don't know what this is.
Ren and Stimpy.
No.
Is it space related?
I don't think so.
I don't know at all.
Is it Mickey Mouse?
No.
Lethal Weapon.
No.
Is it like a movie or a cartoon?
I think both. I'm not
Movie
sure.
and cartoon. That'd narrow it down.
Biker
Back
Mice?
to the Future. Movie? Is there a Biker Mice movie? Movie and
I
cartoon.
think- hold on.
The Mask?
No.
That was on Super Nintendo.
All right. So it was a movie.
The Godfather?
No.
Everybody loves that
I guess.
cartoon.
Good
Where are you
feathers.
seeing these cartoons?
I don't.
Tiny Toons. Good
Clearly.
feathers.
I think it was just a movie. I don't know if it was a cartoon.
Okay. Well, we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know.
It was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That was a cartoon.
Attack of the Killer
Definitely a cartoon.
Tomatoes.
Okay.
Because I used to get mad when it would come on.
Souse.
This one comes from No Blades, No Bows.
Luigi's Mansion. No.
Terrify the neighborhood.
Is it Terrorize?
Terrorize, terrify, whatever.
It is.
Heath. I don't even remember there being a Heathcliff game. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, it's all wrong. Heathcliff. I just saw a guy on TikTok watching. He's taking theme song recommendations that he hasn't heard, and somebody recommended Heathcliff, and he's like, "This is a banger. This is a really good recommendation."
Did we get a point for just knowing Heathcliff? I mean,
It's
pretty
Heathcliff.
much-
That's the name of
That's
the
it.
game.
Oh, that's just
Yeah.
the name of the game. So I just lost us a point because I can push.
No, I want to see what they do here. Hold on. Okay, they did. It's good. I gotta guess that. Oh, with that noise, that's Konami. Oh, definitely
It is
Konami.
Konami. You're absolutely right. All right. Here's one from Just I.
Sounds first party to me. Oh, this is I know this because I played this. This is Mother 3.
Yep. Great job, you got there. This one's from Nico Darunia.
This is familiar.
Wii Sports.
Nope.
Wii Fit.
Nope.
Is it on the Wii?
No.
I definitely. This is first party too.
Yep.
Is this? This quality sounds way too good. Is this DS?
Mm-hmm.
Is Sea House G's on the DS?
No, it's a puzzle game though. I know it's a puzzle game.
P-Cross.
Yes.
Hey, we got there.
Yeah.
Love that game.
Cross 3D. From Nico Darunia. And Spaniel 53 sends this one.
Is this Super Nintendo?
No.
What is this? Portable?
No.
What is this then?
Switch.
Nintendo 64.
Oh, that's why it screwed me up. So it's got to be. It has to be first party.
Yep.
What are we doing here? It's a Mario Party. I don't know. 1, 2, 3.
2. Great job. You got there.
You got there.
This
And
one
64 screws me up every time.
is from Radical Defect / Master Higgins.
I want to say it's familiar, but I don't think it is.
I'm the same. I want to say it's familiar. But I don't know. It's not No More Heroes.
No. Although, interestingly, the word heroes is in the title.
What system?
Originally on the Genesis, but it's been out on
Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah, Virtual Console.
I'll give myself a 0.5 for that.
Pretty rad.
That's that company's name. That's not coming to mind right now. Treasure.
This one is from Knock on Wood.
Oh, come on. Yep. This is Rhythm Heaven. Beam, ba-doom, ba-dee.
Oh, wow.
Boom, beam. Yep. Finally getting a new one of those.
You know what that also meant to me? That we could potentially get a new Rub Rabbits.
Well, that's Sega, so.
I know, but it's just, still a touchscreen with a microphone.
I mean, yeah, it'd probably be like a digital only thing now, but that would be nice.
Although
to
the
see.
mic, is there a microphone on the system?
That's literally where it is, yeah.
Here comes one from Wired.
This is. Is this
Alf?
Is this the Avengers?
No.
Is it related to comic books at all?
No.
Okay, then. Alright. Probably that company. I don't know.
That was it?
I don't know.
What system? Super Nintendo?
GameCube.
Oh,
The
dumb.
hell, Mega Man.
No.
I don't know. We're going. We don't know, right?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Super Monkey Ball 2.
Oh boy, that didn't
aye.
sound anything at all like
Aye,
that.
aye.
Where is I? We've lost him.
He's behind these boxes.
Oh, you hiding.
Hide.
Hide.
Did you want to talk about those?
Why did you say it all weird? And I have no idea what you're talking
The
about.
boxes that I brought in here.
Oh no, not yet. We can wait.
This one's from Geku Kitsune.
Another one I got nothing for.
This is a rough week.
I literally don't even know what to guess.
Yeah, me either.
I like that farty instrument in the back.
We got nothing on brain.
Party bells.
Okay, it was Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense.
And our final song for the week is from Autumnal Blake.
Oh, I like it.
That ninja game. What's that ninja game called?
The Messenger.
The one that you had me play.
Time of Zero.
Yeah.
That guy just said that DLC is still coming. Put out like a new trailer. Is this first party?
I don't think so.
I recognize this. Is this something I'd recognize?
Not sure.
I feel like it's one of those soundtracks I listen to on YouTube and I never click over to see what it is.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to go with, once again, I don't know. Nicky Hill?
I got nothing.
Got nothing.
A Hat in Time.
I haven't played it, but I listened to the soundtrack.
We
Well, it
didn't
comes
get
up
there.
randomly.
We did not get there.
5.5
I like
out
your
of
hat.
10. Guess it's not terrible.
50%.
We did what we could.
We did what we could, and we're just getting back in the swing of things with a full crew. So come on, it's a
Oh.
lot to ask.
No, I don't know if I'm going to be here for another week or two.
And that's all we got. That's
That's
it.
got to be all we
There's
got.
something I have for everybody.
What's
I
that?
think you just gave us enough.
Well, here's a little sidecar to that. Dues views.
Oh.
It's never news. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being patient and waiting 3 weeks for a rumor. Actually, the first week there was a rumor. Was there not? Or there wasn't? No, there wasn't. Anyways, I've got a rumor for you. It comes from my spiders and my flies. Now, you might not know this.
They've been on vacation.
They've been diligently
They had time to
working
gather.
hard, doing all kinds of things all over the internet to
Mhm.
find out a rumor of the Nintendo persuasion to tell me, and then I tell you. That's how it goes. Usually, there's something different about this, something I was just handed from the spiders and flies. Looks like this rumor is true, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen.
Dude, look at that new picture Mom Brain put in there. Holy moly. He's got spiders and flies. Wow.
Amazing.
Holy crap.
Are you making all these yourself?
It's Canva
It's
stuff.
I mean, I'm, zhuzhing,
She's
but-
clip arting pictures together.
Well,
That's
I'm
incredible.
impressed.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
This is
Thank you.
And to
Okay.
have one that's true of all weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
well. Get ready, strap on your true belts because this one's coming at you fast, ladies and gentlemen. My spiders and flies learned something new while getting in line for a pre-order for Switch 2.
Oh.
Yeah, they were off. They were taking their own time to get their own Switch 2, and then a rumor came to them. It turns out
A truth came to them.
yeah, this is true. Oh God, so dumb. Switch 2, it says here, is launching with a bundle of Grand Theft Auto 6. So whoever was in line with you, the true story is whoever was in line with you wasn't necessarily lying
Wow.
about what they said with the GTA 6 pre-order. So
But they said it was coming out that day.
okay, well they lied a little bit, but my spiders and flies didn't lie, and that's what's
They
important.
would never.
And so yeah, so if you've already got your hands on a bundle with the Mario Kart, I'm sorry, there's nothing you could do unless you were to buy this new bundle. That's definitely true and coming out
Man,
soon.
you would think Nintendo and Rockstar would have promoted that one, but
They wanted to keep it on the DL because they didn't want every single website in the world to go down at once.
Yeah, and plus they only got so many units to go around, and Nintendo's like, we're gonna sell all these already, so we don't need more hype for the system. I get it. It makes sense the more
It's
you
true.
think about it.
It
makes
does.
sense.
And the only person who was against it, by the way, was Doug Bowser. It also says here, it says he didn't want the game to
Now
come to
that I
Switch.
believe. That I believe.
Yeah, and he said that if he had his way, he'd charge $20 for that Switch 2 game.
His head got really big once he popped up on John Oliver that one episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he hit the big
segment.
time now. So
Well, thank you for that very true story. I really appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Mike Roddick says Costco Canada canceled my pre-order at 5 p.m. 2 days later, so I had to run to GameStop and get the second last pre-order at my store. Wow, good for you, Mike Roddick. Turned a positive or a negative into a positive. Well, everybody, that's it. We had people back. We don't have COVID anymore, and we're back to usual. So that means next week we'll have more of the usual for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. What is it? 5 weeks Switch 2. It'll be here. We're
gonna get there.
We're in the end times. We're in the countdown, the final countdown. Thanks for
Let's say
watching.
the final countdown. No, let's not say end times yet.
What do you mean?
We are in the end times.
We're in the end times.
For sure.
Yeah,
We're in the
I-
final countdown to Switch 2.
okay.
We're in the final countdown in life.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next
Hey.
week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Oh, man, again, those beignets, get them. Go to Cracker Barrel.
Ooh, I
Get
want
your
them.
beignets.
I want them. I want a chicken fried steak.
Where did you guys
Hey.
go yesterday? You can't talk about that. Can you talk about that?
Where did we go yesterday?
Yeah, don't
I
know.
asked him the same thing. It was from the GameStop when they were waiting in line for the Switch.
We went nowhere yesterday. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I went places.
There's a train station. I guess that
No, I'm not interested in trains, despite what you hear out there. And if you look, there's a dump truck behind.
That was really fun. I think somebody commented as train related. That was
Yeah,
really
Crazy
funny.
Colonel did.
I
Crazy
thought that was
Colonel
very
did.
funny.
And Crazy Colonel sent me this. That's odd. The man that had the train sent it to me. You think as a train person, I would already be into it or have the train, but
Yeah.
not true.
Choo choo.
We have friends that go to Northlands all the time. It's not me.
For their
I
children.
think they're train people. So what? Yeah, for their children, sure. Daddy, I don't want to go to Northlands for the fourth time in this month.
now, damn it.
What?
I think you want to go to Northlands.
I want nothing less.
I bet there's things you want less.
Well, sure.
You like trains.
I'm neutral on the subject.
That's a gear that a train runs in.
I'm only interested in them because you're interested in them. And
I am
support
not.
You.
Have you ever
right.
seen the video?
No.
Because it's not real.
Okay.
You find that video, and I will forever admit to being the world's
Well,
biggest train fan.
How about this? Because I know you don't like to lie. Does the video exist, or did it at one point?
I can't talk about this right now.
Okay.
Yes, the video existed. Sure,
Okay.
it did.
I love how you couldn't even just not say anything. You had to say the truth.
It
I love that
existed.
about
I think
you.
there
I
is
love it.
also
But-
footage somewhere of him square dancing at school.
Oh well, yeah. That I was forced to do that. Yeah, that's fine. It was me and Christine from our school days, the very tall Christine
C-teen, they called her, or Chris
with the heart
T.
troubles.
Oh yes.
Boy, it took a long time to get there. Yeah. I was her
Oh,
square
yes.
dancing partner. They put me, a very small boy, with her, the world's tallest woman at the time. And remember how they asked parents to come into the school
Yeah.
to record? Well, my mom went in and recorded the whole thing
shoulder cam.
with the big shoulder camera. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Dosey Do,
That's-
Alman left, bow to your partner.
Yeah. He remembers all the moves.
Yeah, because I was horrified that I would screw it up because I knew it would be on video.
That's great. Imagine if we lived in today's era where your mom could just do it on an iPhone and then we'd have it forever and she could send it to us all.
Technology is great, but I'm very happy that I was not, or that technology wasn't around when we were children.
You and me both. Oh, I don't even want to think about how embarrassing I was back then.
Yeah.
God, if I had Facebook as a kid, I can only imagine the dumb stuff I would have posted thinking it was great.
Lemon Party.
Well, I can imagine better things than that. I mean, that's not dumb at all.
Can you? Can you? By the way, we're getting old, guys.
Oh no, are we going to be the party goers?
I'm a party animal. All right,
Oh.
everybody.
Don't say it in front of George. He doesn't want to hear about
What about a
lemons.
lime party? Can we have a lime party? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.